sun just fall like this now. The cold just start to the ash.
That's all now.
So thank you for that update. So next month I'll get back to you.
No problem.
I promise. Within this month I'll use I just still fix myself.
No problem. When it's already,
Yeah.
a day here. You just call me. After you don't know my house now, anytime when you won't come.
Every Saturday they get chance.
Yeah. Saturday, Sunday, now they get chance.
Okay, Saturday, Sunday, okay. Just, I will match now.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I will do this to finish and I'll go help Mama do one or two.
Okay. Because I better get coin where I fit there and buy ticket.
Yeah, no problem.
I want to fast. I don't get any minutes. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Properly game on. Get the ultimate football coverage with the Sun's free pull-out goals. With the best writers pitchside for in-depth match reports, it's all about goals. And with unrivaled news from the Premier League to League Two, it has to be goals. Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday only in the Sun.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
Hang on. Whether you're a McNuggets connoisseur or a Chicken Selects mega fan, come together with the McDonald's chicken combo for just $14.99. With 20 chicken McNuggets, 10 chicken selects and 8 dips, there's something for every chicken lover. Order now in store and on McDelivery. Until 3rd of Jan 2024 from 11 a.m. Participating restaurants. Price may vary. Delivery price uplift and fees apply. Subject to availability.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Running low on rule plugs? Going through cutting discs on the double? With Screwfix Trade Bulk Save, you can get up to 10% off the stuff you use the most. Buy more and save more on thousands of products. From everyday essentials like sealants to switches and sockets. And with Click and Collect, you can get what you need in as little as 1 minute. Shop now on the app at screwfix.com or in store. Screwfix, the choice of champions. T's and C's apply. Visit screwfix.com for full details.
Y'all ready for something new? Oh, you thought it was just burgers and fries. They got more flavors than you tasted or you heard in your life.
More to your door.
When you're this slick, what you gon' do? Did somebody say just eat?
Rodri to De Bruyne, flicked on to Walker. Goal! No one saw that coming.
Or as we say in Japan, no arutaka wa tsume o kakusu. The smart hawk hides its talents. For a taste beyond expected, Asahi Super Dry, official beer partners of Manchester City. Enjoy responsibly. Visit drinkaware.co.uk.
The games, the goals, and the glory.
Oh, he's found the net!
Game day.
Brilliant strike!
Live football coverage that's beyond compare. Game day exclusive.
On TalkSport 2.
This is Game Day exclusive on TalkSport 2. I'm Faye Carruthers live with you at the Emirates ahead of our 3 p.m. live and exclusive commentary here on TalkSport 2 of Arsenal against Burnley. 10 minutes to kick off, but before we focus on Arsenal's opponents, Burnley, let's get an odds update with William Hill.
In the zone on TalkSport 2 with official betting partner William Hill. Get epic value all season with William Hill. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Hello, Alex Dunn. I'm very much expecting Arsenal to be heavy favourites for this. Am I right?
You are indeed, Faye. They are 2 to 13. Very, very short indeed. The draw 11 to 2. Burnley in there at 16 to 1. If you do think we're going to see a bit of an upset, there's plenty of enhanced odds available as well. Declan Rice to score or assist is now 9 to 4. Or Trossard to have over 2 shots on target out from 7 to 2 to 4 to 1. So there's definitely ways to get a bit more juice out of the Arsenal price. You could back Arsenal and both teams to score at 11 to 5. But I think everybody's expecting a pretty routine home win here. That said, if you are siding with the visitors, you're going to be pretty handsomely rewarded should they come out on top.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Alex. That was today's odds update. Thanks to William Hill.
In the zone on TalkSport 2 with official betting partner William Hill. Giving you the tools for positive play. Take time to think and know your limits. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
TalkSport's commentary team of Ian Dunter and former Arsenal winger Perry Groves are with me here at the Emirates. 9 defeats from 11 games for Vincent Kompany's Burnley, just the 4 points on the board and in the relegation places with Bournemouth and Sheffield United. Listen, a lot of talk is about the naivety perhaps that some people think Vincent Kompany is showing by sticking to his principles and playing the way they did last season when they absolutely walked the championship. What say you?
I think there has been a bit of naivety there because obviously they completely steamrolled the championship. We're playing again that front foot attacking football, playing out from the back. When you're coming in, Vincent Kompany said himself, when you're coming into Premier League, you're playing against players of a far higher standard. And the individual mistakes Burnley may be made in the Championship who weren't getting punished are getting punished in the Premier League. If you look at the 2 goals at Crystal Palace when Burnley lost at home 2-0, it was the 2 centre-halves, O'Shea and Bayer, who made the 2 individual mistakes and they were punished. And even Roy Hodgson said after the game, actually Burnley are very, he's like Mike Bassett, wasn't he? He went, well, to be fair, Burnley are very good. We didn't deserve to beat them 2-0, but no one cares about that. You just care about the result. So if they come here today and they play as open as what they've been all season, then they could be in a little bit of trouble. Complacency is the only thing I think today that could hinder Arsenal.
Well, let's hear from the Burnley manager Vincent Kompany, shall we, about how difficult life has been in the Premier League for him.
I didn't sign up in the job just for winning the league with 101 points. If you sign up as a manager, there's only very few people that win. It's usually the same guy and he's bald like me. And yeah, but you have to put things into perspective. There's very few managers that win trophies, you know. So you have to do it because you love the job, and part of it is making your team better and getting results. But sometimes doing the work to get to the results, there's something in that as well. You learn so much about people in moments where it's a little bit tough, and it's so valuable. The mistake people do is when it's tough, they close their eyes, they don't want to look anymore. But that's the moment where you take your information. That's the moment where you build your resilience and you build that strength that then takes you to the next level.
And actually, he's probably learned a little bit from Mikel Arteta when the two were at Manchester City together. This is what Vincent Kompany had to say on his opposite number today. You don't go to a bakery and sack the baker because he's messed up a croissant. If he turns up at 4 a.m. every day and is busy till 8 p.m, eventually he's going to be better than the baker next door. And of course, there are question marks over Mikel Arteta, weren't there, Perry? And Vincent's facing a little bit of the same now this season as the players walk out of the tunnel here at the Emirates.
To be fair, obviously, Arteta has become a master baker. Vincent Kompany's learning his trade, but he's got to learn as well, because at the moment, you'd say that Burnley were, flaky pastry or sort of puff pastry, because they're not soggy bottoms. They're not. Oh, there he is. Dan's back in the room. He just had his jelly babies. He just got back from his poor old Birmingham getting hammered.
Oh, don't bring that up.
Yeah, so Vincent Kompany's got to learn, because if you look, Faye, they've conceded in every Premier League game they've played this season, 26 goals. So the 4 points they've actually won have been away from home. So they've won at, sorry, Faye, you're at Luton.
Yes, thank you for that. I was there.
Drew at Nottingham Forest. So they can get results away from home. So I'm just looking at him today. Goodmanson and Koleosho were playing in wide areas for Burnley. Have got a big job to do, because they've got to make sure they double up on bukayo, saka and Gabriel Martinelli, because that's where Arsenal are really dangerous down the flanks.
Yes, absolutely. The players will be taking their places around the centre circle very shortly as we begin to commemorate Remembrance Day. Of course, today is also Armistice Day as well, paying respect to those who gave their lives at times of war. To take you through those commemorations and the live and exclusive national radio commentary of Arsenal against Burnley, I'm going to leave you in the very capable hands of former Arsenal winger Perry Groves and your match commentator this afternoon, Ian Dancer.
Forces pick up the wreaths laid on the side of the pitch. Each wreath having a club logo upon it, one of Arsenal, one of Burnley. And they now leave the field as the players will take over on the pitch for the next 90 minutes. Here on TalkSport 2, Arsenal against Burnley. Arsenal with a chance to go level with Manchester City on 27 points and go above Spurs, who lost dramatically late on over on TalkSport at Wolverhampton Wanderers this lunchtime. Burnley can exit the bottom three with a win if it's coupled with Luton losing at Manchester United. We'll keep you updated with all goals going in elsewhere. We are underway on TalkSport 2. And Burnley are in their change strip today of yellow shirts and socks with black shorts. They're attacking the North Bank away to our left-hand side. Arsenal in the traditional red and white shirts, white shorts and socks. They're attacking the clock end to our right as we sit pretty much right behind Vincent Kompany's technical area, just inside the Burnley half of the field. The lineups: Arsenal with Raya in goal, Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko in a back four, Havertz, Jorginho, Rice as three in midfield, Saka, Trossard, Martinelli up front. For Burnley, Trafford is the keeper, Vitinho, O'Shea, Bayer and Taylor as a back four, Goodmanson, Berger, Brownhill, Kolyoshu across midfield, Rodriguez and Amdouni up front. And already in League Two, Wrexham lead against Gillingham at the racecourse ground. Ollie Palmer, 10 unbeaten going into today, Wrexham. And Morecambe lead at Grimsby in the same division by a 0-0. Adam Mayer for the Shrimps. Ball slid out of play by Jay Rodriguez. Michael Oliver, our referee, gives the throw to Arsenal. Perry Groves alongside me this afternoon. And Burnley won't exactly sit back and let Arsenal come onto them. It's just not the way they play football.
No, they've got to make sure when they're in possession, when they get their chances in that final third, they've got to be clinical, which they haven't been all season. Just looking at the way Arsenal set up, Dan, it's like that 4-1-4-1 formation, and they've a little swath around because Declan Rice is playing in the inside left position and Kai Havertz in that inside right with Trossard up front.
So Gabriel plays it out to the left-hand side for Zinchenko. 10 yards inside the Burnley half of the field. Now it goes back into the Arsenal half for the talented Saliba. Early goal in the Premier League at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Everton 1. Vitaly Mikalenko on the goal sheet again for Everton as they lead at Selhurst Park. 3 unbeaten, Sean Dyche's Toffees.
I saw him at the London Stadium dance against West Ham. Everton very, very well organised, very well disciplined. Obviously you've got the threat of Calvert-Lewin up front now as well, who's back fit.
Arsenal in possession with Tomiyasu, playing at right back today in the absence of Ben White. Left out of the squad today by Mikel Arteta with a slight injury. Couple of minutes gone on TalkSport 2, 0-0. Here's Tomiyasu again, just inside his own half. Under pressure from Kolyosho. Sends the ball out to bukayo Saka, just inside the Burnley half. Now it's back with Saliba, being pressurised by Amdouni. Bradford 0, Barrow 1. Another goal in League 2 as Barrow take the lead at the Valley Parade Stadium.
You're just looking at Burnley dance when they're out of possession. You're going into that 4-4-2. Obviously 2 banks of 4. They've got to make sure distance between the back 4 and the midfield are nice and tight. And they've got the problem as well of Zinchenko, which has happened already, coming into that inverted midfield area. So it'll be interesting to see whether it's Sander Berge or Josh Brown who tries to engage onto Zinchenko.
Saliba at the edge of the centre circle inside his own half for Arsenal. Plays a square ball to Zinchenko, who gives it back to Saliba. Now Tomiyasu, closed down very quickly by Kolyosho. So they hurry the pass up to halfway, but that's straight down the throat of Charlie Taylor, who guides the ball back to his keeper, James Trafford. 0-0.
Yeah, it's good closing down from Kolyosho and Amdouni and Rodriguez. They just made sure they went in sync. They came into Zinchenko, tried to roll it out first time to Kai Havertz out on this right-hand side, just gave possession away. Burnley have the ball with James Trafford.
And now Jordan Bayer, who was at fault for Burnley's second goal conceded against Crystal Palace last time out, but generally Burnley's chances of picking up points are increased when Bayer is in the starting lineup for the Clarets. Here's Saka though for Arsenal at 0-0, midway point of the Burnley half, to this near touchline with Arsenal attacking the clock end to our right in this first half. He leaves it for Havertz, who comes in field from this near touchline and fires it into the centre circle for Saliba. Just to his left is Zinchenko. Early ball out to the left-hand side, and Gabriel Martinelli, who's going to try and run at Vitinho. Works it in field to Zinchenko. Zinchenko finds Tomiyasu, and it's slid out to the right wing, and bukayo Saka, level with the Burnley penalty area. Plays it down the right-hand side of the box for Havertz, who tries to pull it back from the dead ball line, and he's gone behind for a corner kick. There were claims by Bayer for offside, not given by the assistant. Corner kick to Arsenal, 0-0.
Yeah, Arsenal worked it quite nicely down there, right-hand side. Kai Havertz getting himself to the touchline. Really should be trying to dink it up to the far post. Hits the first man. Corner for Arsenal on their right-hand side to be taken by bukayo Saka.
Corner for Arsenal to be taken at the clock end by Saka. Left-footed in-swinger to come then for the Gunners. Zinchenko is there for a kind of short corner. Saka goes into the near post, and it's headed over the top by Gabriel, who got there in front of his marker but couldn't keep the header down. It's 0-0 here, and Palace have equalised straight away against Everton. 1-1 at Selhurst Park. A penalty from the returning Everechi Eze, making it 1-1 in South London. Here in North London, it's 0-0, Perry.
Yeah, just a little corner dinked in from bukayo Saka, in swinging with his left foot, and Gabriel getting himself across his marker, Sander Berge at the near post, come off his shoulder. He just went away for a goal kick.
Push by Saliba on Rodriguez.
1-1 Palace and Everton. Everybody said that was going to be 0-0, didn't they? Everybody said that's the game you didn't want to go and watch.
Already
Gotta
two
love
goals.
football.
Yeah, well, absolutely, yeah. Well, everyone said that Bournemouth-Burnley was going to be the worst Premier League game of the season, and I really enjoyed that game a couple of weeks ago. And so did Bournemouth, because they got all 3 points to keep Burnley close to the foot of the table. Fleetwood lead Exeter by a 0-0 at Highbury in League One. 5 unbeaten for Lee Johnson, Fleetwood, and Ryan Broom, who they got from Cheltenham, I think, in the summers, put them ahead.
Well, Fleetwood have never beaten Exeter City in their history. 6 games, drawn 3, lost 3.
Good stat. It's not an inane stat. Burnley hit a free kick into the area, but it's played by David Ray, who immediately fires it down the inside left channel, looking to get Martinelli away. He was sprinting gamely to try and catch up with the ball, but Vitinho got there first for Burnley, and that's picked up by Johan Goodmanson. Such a terrific servant for Burnley, Goodmanson. Over 200 appearances since he moved from Charlton Athletic 7 years ago. 0-0.
Vitinho did really well there, Dad. He made sure he gave himself 5 yards. Because when the ball came to David Ray, he said there, he just fly kicked it out to Martinelli to try and set us on the counter-attack, and Vitinho read it really, really well.
Good sprint from Jordan Bayer, the centre-half, up to halfway, clips it in field. Referee got in the way of Goodmanson, but that allows Burnley to bring the ball forward. Amdouni's going to go for goal, and it's tipped wide by Raya, plunging to his left. He really struck that well, Zeki Amdouni, and he's forced Burnley's first corner of the game at the North Bank, 0-0.
A really good play from Bayer on the left-hand side. Great body check there from referee Michael Oliver. Didn't go down. He said there, just came out to Amdouni. He just made sure that he just kept travelling with the ball. With his right foot, he's really put his laces through it. Tested David Raya, and a good save from David Raya low to his left-hand side. Corner for Burnley over on their right.
5th against 6th in the Championship. Southampton lead West Brom by a 0-0. Will Smallbone, their midfielder, puts the Saints ahead. Corner to Burnley here at the Emirates with 8 minutes gone. 0-0. Goodmanson to swing it in left-footed. Heading out strongly by Gabriel. But first on the scene is Vitinho to keep the ball away from Martinelli and fire the ball back into his own half for goalkeeper Trafford. Midway point of that half, he tries to hit a ball into out, but it's far too long and straight and bounces once through to Raya. 0-0.
Yeah, it's a good header from Gabriel. Arsenal go a zonal along the 6-yard box with Saliba and Gabriel central. You've got to make sure if it comes into your area, you get to the ball first. It's going to be a really good battle dance over on Burnley's right, Arsenal's left, between Vitinho and Gabriel Martinelli, because they both look very, very quick. And even in this first 8 minutes, Vitinho's looked very sharp.
Havertz finds bukayo Saka on the Arsenal right. Goes away from Taylor. Gets to the dead ball line. Checks back onto his right, and that allows Taylor to toe poke it behind for Arsenal's second corner of the game. It's 0-0 on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, bukayo Saka there, 1v1 with Charlie Taylor. Goes on the outside. And I'd like to see bukayo Saka actually getting across him with his right foot, just getting it into the box. He tries to check back, give Charlie Taylor the chance just to toe poke it away from him. Another corner for Arsenal on their right.
Zinchenko's there again for a shortish corner routine. Kolyosho's keeping half an eye on Zinchenko, but Saka looks favourite to send it in left-footed, an in-swinger towards the near post. Then he plays it along the deck, looking to a player at the edge of the area, but Kolyosho read that, smacks it against Zinchenko, wins Burnley a goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, Kolyosho was just sitting there on his little stool reading a book and just read it really well, wasn't it? Because he knew, and he'd done his research, obviously, with all the coaching staff from Burnley, who said, look, Arsenal try and play their little 2v1s, so he took up a good position on the corner 18-yard box and made sure the ball couldn't get into Jorginho, just lurking on the edge.
Tranmere 1, Forest Green 0 in League 2. Nigel Adkins now permanent Tranmere manager. Own goal has put Tranmere ahead. And Wigan lead at Cheltenham by a goal to 0. Lewis Freestone with an own goal to put the Latics 1-0 up. 0-0 here at the Emirates with 10 minutes gone on TalkSport 2. Fairly quiet opening here at Emirates Stadium. Amdouni with that early sighter for Burnley from distance. And Arsenal come forward and it's flung by Martinelli out to this right-hand side looking for Saka, but it's slid out of play by Charlie Taylor as Swansea take the lead at Ipswich in the Championship. Jay Fulton, Ipswich starting the day in second, but they haven't won in 3 in all competitions. But they trail at Portman Road to the Swans. It's 0-0 here. Saliba squares the ball for Zinchenko. It's very much the inverted fullback today, Perry Groves.
Yeah, just dropped in between actually Saliba and Gabriel, and at the moment Arsenal aren't moving the ball quick enough, Dan. So you said there, it's just it's a little bit static. Just looking at their front players, Zinchenko's coming into inverted position midfield, just got dispossessed by Sander Berge, but I was just looking at Martinelli, Bukayo, Saka and Leandro Trossard, the front three. There was no movement, no one coming short, no to go long. So the Burnley back four look pretty steady at the minute.
Watford 1, Rotherham 0 in the Championship. Mileto Rajovic puts the Hornets 1 up. Crawley equalised against Accrington Stanley. That's 1-1 in League 2. Daniel O'Horsey for Crawley. And it's 0-0 here on TalkSport 2 with 11 minutes gone between Arsenal and Burnley. Arsenal will go level with Manchester City at the top with the win that they crave to expel the memories of what happened on Tyneside a week ago. Burnley win a throw on the far side, just over halfway, 0-0.
You can tell obviously that Vincent Kompany's coaching staff have watched Arsenal against Sevilla on Wednesday night, because every time the ball has come into Martinelli, Vitinho has been right at him, Dan. He's been closing him down, hasn't given the chance to turn. So at the moment, coming up to 12 minutes played, Vincent Kompany will be delighted with the team shape of his Burnley team and the application, because they're very, very quick to go and close the ball down and close the spaces.
Rodriguez and Charlie Taylor on this near touchline, and Kolyosho do well to keep the ball in, but then Kolyosho shows too much of that to Tomiyasu. The ball is floated down the left-hand side, and Mikel Arteta dashing across to get it back in place as soon as he could.
Arteta looked like he was tracking a run of Rodriguez, didn't he? As Rodriguez run down Burnley's left-hand side. Well, Arteta went man for man.
Who was it that tripped a Walsall player? Was it Keith Millen who tripped a Walsall player over when he was trying to attack in a recent game against Gillingham?
And that weren't me, ref. Didn't touch him.
Got a booking for that, did Keith Millen? Yeah, Arteta was almost getting involved in play there. Now he has his hands behind his back at the edge of his technical area. Suited and booted as always, Mikel Arteta. And he watches on as down the left-hand side for Arsenal goes Trossard. Plays the ball into the area, it might deflect into the path of Martinelli. It's turned behind for a corner, but the offside flag has gone up against an Arsenal player, so it's a free kick to Burnley. Reading take the lead at Shrewsbury in League One, bottom of the table, Reading, but they have won and drawn their last 2. And Sam Smith has given them the lead at the Greenhouse Meadow. 0-0 here, Perry Groves.
Yeah, that was better from Arsenal, because Trossard just threatening behind the Burnley back four. Great ball from Gabriel, just putting it into that left-hand channel. In the end, it was Declan Rice just trying to play a little first-time pass to Martinelli. Martinelli went a little bit too early and was caught offside.
Tomiyasu wins the ball strongly on halfway, drives into the Burnley half of the field, just down beneath our commentary position. Then it's worked back to Saliba on the halfway line. Arsenal keeping possession. Zinchenko now. Bang on the halfway line, trots into the Burnley half, moves out to the left-hand side and looks for Martinelli. Has to work it back to Gabriel. Gabriel back to Saliba on the centre spot. Everybody in Burnley yellow back behind the ball as Tomiyasu looks up just over the halfway line and plays a ball over the top trying to get Saka in behind Taylor, but it's overhit by the Japanese fullback, and it's back with James Trafford. 0-0.
Yeah, he's a little bit too straight there from Tomiyasu. The
bukayo saka coming short to feet, trying to just drag Charlie Taylor in, then spinning in behind him. So they just probably needed more of a 9-iron in his hit, like a 5-iron, goes through to James Trafford. And it's a little bit, the atmosphere dance is a little bit flat, isn't it, at the Emirates?
Yes.
Because I don't know if there's, amongst the fans, there is a bit of an air of complacency or expectancy. Because when the anthem was played, North London Forever, normally the Emirates is absolutely packed. When there was loads and loads of empty seats, with the fans probably still in the bars and in the on the concourses.
Yeah,
and
celebrating Spurs losing.
Corporate areas. I wasn't going to mention it, to be fair, because it's one of my old teams as well,
What, Wolves? Oh yeah, you got that very close.
Very close to my heart.
Very close bond, yeah.
I don't wish them any ill dance, just because they got rid of me and said I was useless when I was 16.
Speaking of Spurs, their ex-striker Harry Kane has scored both of Bayern Munich's goals this afternoon against Heidenheim. Harry Kane, of course, in the England squad. England's game on Friday. Live on TalkSport as Declan Rice tries to get to a diagonal ball into the box. Faye will be there at Wembley. England against Malta, along with Adrian and Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce. England already qualified for Euro 2024, or pretty much there. So 2-0 to Bayern Munich. Kane on the mark with both of those. But Spurs lost today to Wolves, a dramatic late winner for Lamina at Molineux. You heard it live on TalkSport. Kolyoshu, meantime, for Burnley, trying to outmuscle Takahiro Tomiyasu, and that's a tall order because the taller man easily brushed aside the American, and it's a goal kick to Arsenal, 0-0.
Yeah, it's Kolyoshu just trying to take Tomiyasu on the right, on his right-hand side, on the outside. To be fair to Tomiyasu, as you said there, Dan, he just got his body across him really well. But I've been actually impressed because I was critical of Burnley beforehand, saying they're too open, too easy to play against. Their team shape has been very, very good. They look very sharp, out of possession.
Well, certainly Mikel Arteta looks the more animated or agitated of the two managers, you're right. Reading have a second at Shrewsbury, incidentally. Don Ballard makes it Shrewsbury 0, Reading 2 in League One. Sander Berger gives it back to Charlie Taylor. Now Jordan Bayer striding towards the halfway line. The German centre-half flicks it infield to Brownhill. Brownhill forced to go back to his goalkeeper Trafford, but he immediately passes outside the box to Dara O'Shea. Now Bayer again. Everything ahead of him. Options left and right, just clips it square to Dara O'Shea once more, the former West Brom defender.
See, I'm looking at Mikel Arteta. I can't believe that he's not telling the Arsenal back four to push further up, because Leonard Trossard is probably, I think, 10 yards too far away from the two Burnley centre halves, O'Shea and Bayer, who are splitting, because Burnley still want to play out from the back.
Yeah.
So I think it's up to Arsenal. If they're a little bit slow in possession, when you're out of possession, then you've got to make sure that you get, say, closer to Burnley players. Vincent Kompany's just come to his coaching staff, and he has a bit of mind. I don't know why, because his team have started, really well.
17 minutes gone on TalkSport 2. It is Arsenal 0, Burnley 0. And the only one chance we've really had came Burnley's way. Zeki Amdouni trying his luck from a good 25 yards out. It was come to be dealt with by David Raya. And here's Saliba for the Gunners as they play a short free kick just inside their own half. Zinchenko, square ball for Tomiyasu, who brings the ball over halfway. Saka comes short to receive the ball on this near touchline, but Taylor is not giving him too much room to manoeuvre. Back it goes to halfway, and Saliba again. Zinchenko, out to Martinelli on the far left-hand side, the left wing for Arsenal. Goodmanson for Kompany, gets to level with the edge of the area, works it back infield to Gabriel. Arsenal keeping possession, Burnley keeping everybody behind the ball. Tomiyasu drills the ball from right to left, picking out Martinelli again, level with the edge of the area, left-hand side, gives it back to Zinchenko, first-time ball, Havertz couldn't get the purchase on the header he wanted, it flicked off the top of his head. In fact, it came off a Burnley player last of all, because Arsenal have been given the corner at the clock end, 0-0.
Really good friending by Charlie Taylor at the far post for Burnley, because there Martinelli just rolls it back to Zinchenko, gets the cross in first time with his left foot. Kai Havertz just peeled off onto the far post, and Charlie Taylor made sure that he backed into him, got his head to the ball first. Another corner for Arsenal.
0-0. It is a short corner. Zinchenko joining Saka at this near side. In comes the cross. It's headed away strongly by Bayer. Comes out to bukayo Saka. in the centre of the Burnley half. Flicks it out back to Zinchenko on this right-hand side. Early ball into the box for Havertz. He was trying to lay it off for Trossard, but Burnley had players back. But a loose pass by Amdouni gives possession back to the Gunners. Zinchenko again, inside right position. Looks to send across him, but then looks up and spots Martinelli in space on the left-hand side, level with the area. Faced up by Vitinho. Whips the ball in. Havertz, can he keep it in play at the far post? He can. But there's enough Burnley players back to smuggle it at least half clear, but only as far as Saka, 0-0.
Yeah, Arsenal just trying to exert a little bit of pressure. The passing's got a little bit faster.
Zinchenko trying to receive a pass at the edge of the area. Tomiyasu tried a drive that was blocked. Comes out to Saka, right-hand side of the area. Trying to get past Koleosho, ball into the box. There's Burnley players trying to get it clear, and then Saka with a snapshot, tipped over the bar brilliantly by Trafford for an Arsenal corner, 0-0. Closest the Gunners have come.
Great save from James Trafford. At first it was a fantastic touch from bukayo Saka. The ball dropped out of the air. He's got velvet slippers on. Then it just comes in. Burnley can't clear it. Comes back to bukayo Saka with his right foot. That looks like it's arrowed into the top left-hand corner. Fantastic save. Tip over there from James Trafford.
Touched it onto the bar and over to James Trafford, but it is a corner to Arsenal at the clock end to our right. 0-0 the score on TalkSport 2. Saka sends the ball deep to the far post this time. It's headed up and out by Burnley captain Brownhill, but it's headed back out to Saka on this near side, the right. Feints to cross, then sends it deep to the far post, but beyond Gabriel, and it'll be out of play for a goal kick to Burnley. Ipswich equalise against Swansea in the Championship. Jack Taylor making it 1-1, and Dundee leads St Mirren in the Scottish Premiership this afternoon. Only one defeat in 6 for Dundee. Amadou Bakayoko with the goal for Dundee. Goal kick to Burnley. Away to our right, James Trafford, summer signing from Manchester City, Vincent Kompany's old club, cost them £15 million. Made a good save there to keep bukayo Saka out.
Yeah, it was good foot movement as well, wasn't it, from James Trafford. Just got himself along his goal line and then went with his right hand, which gives you more of a reach. You come across your body.
Yet to keep a clean sheet in the Premier League, James Trafford. Although that's not his fault necessarily that he hasn't done so, but he would dearly love to keep one this afternoon and give Burnley just a chance of getting themselves out of the bottom 3. But that would be predicated on Luton losing at Manchester United. That game is still 0-0, we understand, at Old Trafford. Salford 0, Mansfield 1. Jordan Bowery, who's been playing at right back lately for Mansfield, has given them the lead at the Peninsula. Mansfield still unbeaten, remember, in League 2 under Nigel Clough, although a lot of those games have been drawn, but they lead at Salford. Here, down the right-hand side for Burnley is Amdouni, trying to drill his way into the box. Half cleared by Arsenal. Saka's onto it quickly in the middle of his own half and spreads play out left for Gabriel Martinelli. Saka's gone again, but the return gets it back at the edge of the area, faced up by Taylor. Saka then is challenged by Dara O'Shea. Fairly, says the referee, although you can hear the calls around us claiming that there should have been a spot kick for a foul on bukayo Saka. Nothing doing, says Michael Oliver, 0-0.
To be fair to Michael Oliver, Dan, he was in a brilliant position because he made sure he kept up with play. It was a lightning counter-attack from Arsenal down the left-hand side. Martinelli then into bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka getting himself into the 18-yard box, doing his Michael Flatley foot-overs. To be fair to Dara O'Shea, he just came back, just made sure that he got his right foot across bukayo Saka. Never been a penalty. Really good play from Dara O'Shea, but even better play from Michael Oliver.
Arsenal 0, Burnley 0. We're midway through the first half on TalkSport 2 here at Emirates Stadium. Rice out to Martinelli on the far left-hand side for Arsenal. Vitinho again keeping a very close eye on Martinelli. Back in field it goes to Rice, and then to the centre of the half, and Zinchenko, who quickly flicks it out to the near side, the right, and Takehiro Tomiyasu. But he's forced to go back to Saliba. Saliba plays a 1-2 with Zinchenko. It is effectively a back 3 most of the time for Arsenal. Zinchenko wants to join in almost all the time with anything that Arsenal want to do when they're on the front foot. Trossard loses out to Jay Rodriguez, who just puts his foot through it and gets it over halfway so that Burnley can reorganise. 0-0.
I think Michael Oliver, the referee, has been working on his blocking from set pieces, because he's just blocked Goodmanson there as well. Earlier in the Burnley move, he blocked Josh Brownhill. Mind you, to be fair, he didn't go down, so he's old school.
Yeah, proper 1970s that. Leeds 1, Plymouth 0 in the Championship. Daniel James of Wales puts them ahead. Don't forget, we've got Wales in action for you next Saturday against Armenia. Saturday afternoon with Nigel Adderley and Dean Saunders. Wales do still have a chance of getting themselves involved in the Euros next year. Saka for Arsenal, down the right-hand side of the Burnley box. Gives it back to the right-hand corner of the area, and Zinchenko. Lovely flick to get Saka back in front of goal. Havertz tries a shot blocked by Jay Rodriguez and Bayer between them. And it drops out of the area. And Arsenal try and keep the pressure on. It's played out left to Gabriel Martinelli, one-on-one with Vitinho, but Vitinho, strong challenge, and he heads it clear, but he can't quite find Anduni, and Arsenal do well to keep it in play on that far side. And Martinelli just casually passes it back towards the centre circle, and Gabriel, Zinchenko, give it back to the Brazilian centre-half. Norwich lead at Cardiff. That's a big day for David Wagner. My word, how Norwich need a win. 5 losses in 6, but Christian Fasnacht has given Norwich the lead at Cardiff, and Salford have equalised against Mansfield. Matt Smith with his 13th of the season for Salford City.
Think it'll be a header?
More than likely. 0-0 at Emirates Stadium. 25 minutes gone on TalkSport 2. Here's Trossard floating the ball into the Burnley box. Havertz went up with a header. Saka tries to head it back across the face of goal, and it's kept out. Oh, the whistle's already gone for a foul. James Trafford was having to turn and fly back towards his own goal to keep out an inadvertent back header from Jordan Bayer, but there was a foul already in the piece, so Burnley have themselves a free kick and panic over for the Clarets at the back. 0-0.
Yeah, just a little push there from bukayo Saka on Koleosho, who did really well. Actually, Koleosho come back and defend. You said there, it came off of bukayo Saka and then onto Bayer, who's headed over James Trafford. He did really well, James Trafford, because again he's backtracked and clawed the ball off the line, but Mike Oliver quite rightly gave the free kick against bukayo Saka.
Sanderberger for Burnley at 0-0. 26 minutes gone. Ipswich have turned it around against Swansea in short order. Connor Chaplin makes it Ipswich 2, Swansea 1 in the Championship. And earlier today in the Championship, you heard it on TalkSport 2, Sunderland convincing winners 3-1 over Birmingham City. Here on halfway's Vitinho for Burnley. He finds Rodriguez, his hair tied back in that familiar ponytail. Work back into the Burnley half of the 2 centre-halves, Bayer and O'Shea, and he's fired it out as O'Shea to Johan Berg Gudmundsson on the far right-hand side, but he won't make any progress down that right touchline. Forced to go infield and back for the 2 centre-halves to exchange passes once again. Arsenal sitting in their own half. Tell you who else is sitting in tonight. Rory Jennings sitting in for Mark Goldbridge on the Mark Goldbridge show at 7:30 tonight. That's after Jamie O'Hara and Gabby Agbondohor have brought you the phone-in, the game day phone-in, from 5:30 on TalkSport. 0-0 here. And Burnley keeping possession for the past 30 seconds or so. And it's out on the right-hand side and whipped in by Gudmundsson. Rodriguez flicks the ball up in the air. It's going to land right underneath the crossbar, but it's a comfortable claim from David Raya. And he bowls it out to Jorginho. 0-0.
Yeah, what a bad ball in actually from Gudmundsson, just coming in for that right-hand side onto his left foot. Rodriguez just getting himself across Gabriel, we said there, just looped far too far up in the air. Simple save for David Raya. Arsenal get themselves back in possession.
Now there's lots of Premier League games tomorrow, notably Chelsea against Manchester City. Sunday session from 1:30 with Sam Matterface. Where are you tomorrow, pal?
I'm at the London Stadium for West Ham against Nottingham Forest with Bianca Westwood.
So we'll go around the grounds for you from 1:30 tomorrow with all those Premier League games tomorrow. 4 of them at 2 o'clock and Chelsea, Manchester City at 4:30. And then, of course, DJ Majestic and Alan Pardew with the final word when we're all done at 6:30.
I'd love to see Pards do a DJ set with Majestic, wouldn't you?
It hadn't crossed my mind until you mentioned it just then, Terry. I have to admit, it wasn't foremost in my thoughts.
That's the seller, I'm telling you.
Okay, put tickets on sale, see what happens.
It just reaches across the generations.
Martinelli, left-hand side for Arsenal, puts a cross in, headed up and out by Jordan Bayer to the edge of the box. Arsenal trying to win the second ball, almost drops for Tomiyasu, actually adjusted down well. Now at the edge of the box, right-hand side is Kai Havertz, finds Tomiyasu, into the area for Trossard, trying to make room for a shot, angles tight, pulls it back from the dead ball line, headed up, and is it out, or has it stayed in play? It has gone out, it is a corner now to Arsenal at the clock end. They're this first half, but it's still goalless on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, it was better interpassing there from Arsenal. 1 and 2 touch on the right-hand corner of the penalty area with bukayo, Saka, Kai Havertz, Leandro Trossard. Trossard getting himself past Charlie Taylor, getting to the byline again. He couldn't dink it up to the far post. Ball was blocked. Another corner for Arsenal on the right-hand side.
Another chance for bukayo Saka to deliver it into the area. Zinchenko's walked away from a potential short corner. Saka now clips it in left-footed. Up go the heads, and it's over the top from Havertz, who got in there at the near post, unmarked as well, but couldn't keep the header down. Goal kick to Burnley, 0-0.
Yeah. He'd be really disappointed there. Kai Havertz just gets away from his marker, and actually it's a free header. He gets in front of Jordan Bayer. He should be hitting the target. He missed a great chance with his head against Sevilla as well, so very disappointing there from Kai Havertz.
You're listening to Arsenal 0, Burnley 0 on TalkSport 2 with Now. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Bournemouth versus Newcastle United live today for £11.99. No contract. Just search Now Sports. We played half an hour in North London. Ball given away by Saliba, and suddenly Gudmundsson's running into the area. Shot brilliantly saved by David Raya, plunging to his left. Gudmundsson tried to slip it underneath Raya, but he made a top save, sticking out a left paw, and it stays 0-0. Just.
Yeah, Saliba getting himself too tight on Rodriguez, and they just did toe poke through to Gudmundsson, coming to the right-hand side of the left-hand side of the penalty box. With his left foot, he's just tried to slide it past David Raya. It looks like it gone past him, Danton. David Raya, to be fair, has got a big left palm out from behind him. It's a fantastic save low down to his left-hand side to keep the game at 0-0.
Brownhill trying to head the ball down at the edge of the area, just hoofed clear by Jorginho. Proper old-fashioned Gary Owen that from the Arsenal number 20, but a foul by Martinelli on Bayer. Gives Burnley a free kick. Leeds have doubled their lead against Plymouth in the Championship. Joe Perreault making it Leeds 2, Plymouth 0. Motherwell 0, Hearts 1 in Scotland in the Premiership. Lawrence Shankland with the goal for Hearts. 0-0 here, 31 minutes gone.
They're the sort of big chances that Burnley have to take. See, I think that Gudmundsson thought had actually slipped it past David Raya, but he's actually gone behind himself.
Rodriguez goes for goal now, and it was actually going wide, but Raya plunged to his left anyway and patted it down so he could pick it up again. But another hard chance for the Clarets at 0-0.
Well, Burnley have had more shots on target, coming up to 32 minutes gone than what Arsenal have. That's their third shot on target, which was fairly easily saved by David Raya, but I think there's not enough urgency about Arsenal Dance at the minute in their passing, in their movement.
In losing to Crystal Palace last time out, Burnley, they had 17 shots to Crystal Palace's 4. So their XG, if you believe in such things, is nowhere near good enough. 1.12 XG when they should have scored, but they didn't against Crystal Palace. And it's 0-0 here. But as you could probably hear from our effects microphones, it's a fairly flat, somber, quiet Emirates just at the moment, although might be a corner here. It was well kept from going for a corner by Sander Berge. Put it out of play for a throw for Arsenal. Down towards that corner where the travelling Burnley contingent are, on the far side of the field from us. 0-0 to score.
You're saying about the game Crystal Palace and Burnley up at Turf Moor, where Roy Hodgson after the game turned into Mike Bassett, didn't he? Where he said, well, they were quite good, wasn't they, to be fair? It wasn't a 2-0 game. Just to, all you need is to be patronised, isn't it? So they played well. Don't know who won that to.
Now, right-hand side for Arsenal, bukayo Saka, 10 yards from the dead ball line, gives it back in field to Tomiyasu. Diagonal ball into the box, and Coutinho did well to head it behind. I think he probably knew that Gabriel Martinelli was lurking behind him, so he had to get something on that, and he did. Corner Arsenal, 0-0.
Brilliant defending from Coutinho. He said there it was a searching ball from Tomiyasu on this right-hand side with his left foot. Martinelli was lurking on that left-hand side, corner for Arsenal on their left, to be taken by Martinelli.
Yeah, right-footed in-swinger to come in front of those Burnley fans from Gabriel Martinelli for Arsenal. Into the 6-yard box, headed across the face of goal by Sander Berge, and then Rodriguez under pressure from Trossard can only hook the ball up and out for a throw taken quickly by bukayo Saka. Down by the corner flag, this near side, Trossard passed it back to the edge of the area, but nobody in a red and white shirt, and Dooney tried to bring it clear. He's given away a throw to Arsenal. Meantime, in the Championship, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Millwall 1. Murray Wallace for Millwall. Just one win all season for Sheffield Wednesday. Danny Raw, their new manager, under pressure already. Fleetwood 2-0 up on Exeter now. Brendan Sarpong-Weirdo.
Did I tell you that Fleetwood...
I've never been Exeter.
Yeah, did I say that? I can't remember.
It did come across, yeah, you did mention it. You can mention it again, it's fine. Zinchenko, edge of the area for Arsenal. Out to the left-hand side of Martinelli. Checks onto his right. Ball to the far post beyond Havertz. And Tomiyasu couldn't keep it in play. And Vincent Kompany, hands over his head, applauding his Burnley defenders for keeping Arsenal at bay once again. Nearly 10 to the break. It's Arsenal 0, Burnley 0. Perry Groves.
He was applauding Kolyasho there because, to be fair, it was Tomiyasu trying to get on the far post, and Kolyasho made sure that he tracked his runner. And that's what you have to do when you're playing in those wide areas, playing against Arsenal. So this has probably been Burnley's most disciplined performance, home or away, all season. They've been very impressive.
Well, here's football for you. Swindon walloped 7-4 in the cup by Aldershot last week. 1-0 up on the leaders, Stockport County. 12 straight wins for Dave Challoner's Stockport. But Daniel Kemp has scored his 9th of the season to put Swindon ahead of the county ground. And Bradford equalised against Barrow at Valley Parade. That's 1-1 there in League 2, Tyler Smith. And Cheltenham equalised against Wigan elsewhere in League 1. Now here come Arsenal with Kai Havertz up to the edge of the area, plays it left, Trossard with his back to goal, couldn't turn and shoot. He's still got it though, Trossard, edge of the area, steps away from Berger, tries a shot, tipped over by James Trafford. Another Arsenal corner at 0-0.
Yeah, there's another counter-attack from Arsenal. Ball finds its way to Kai Havertz. I actually think he should be shooting Dance. And obviously then he just tried to lay it out to his left-hand side.
I think the Emirates collectively thought he should shoot. You heard it around us.
Exactly, he's trying to pass it to Martinelli. It comes to Trossard. Trossard then checks back onto his left foot. It's a really good tip-over save from James Trafford, but just a lack of confidence there from Kai Havertz.
Martinelli with the latest corner for Arsenal, headed away from inside the six-yard box by Bayer. But it comes out to bukayo Saka on this near side, the right. First time ball to come in from Jorginho. Up go the heads. Strong header cleared by Sander Berger. It's nodded down by Zinchenko out to the left-hand side, and Martinelli gives it back to the Ukrainian defender. Infield to William Saliba, almost spotted a chance to unleash a drive from distance. Instead, it goes out to this near side, the right, and Saka up against Kolyasho. Drives for the byline, right-footed ball in, headed out by Bayer this time. Comes out to Zinchenko, lofts it back out to the left-hand side for Martinelli. Circle the wagons for Burnley early on, trying to defend their own penalty area. Everybody inside the box wearing a Burnley shirt as it comes out now to Declan Rice. Down the left wing for Martinelli, driving for the byline. Puts the ball across the face of goal. Chested down by Gabriel, but it chests it away from goal. Back to Saka. The right-hand corner of the box, down the right-hand side of the area for Gabriel, faced up by Kolyasho, looking for an option, gives it back to Saka again. Saka goes for goal, blocked up in the air, and Taylor can't get a touch. Offside flag goes up against an Arsenal player, and it's a free kick to the Clarets. It is currently Arsenal 0, Burnley 0, and for the latest odds, just head to William Hill, the official betting partner of TalkSport 2's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Arsenal to win at 7-2 on, the draw 16-5. Burnley for the win, still priced at 14-1. That's all thanks to William Hill. Get epic value all season with William.
3, 2, 1. Ora!
One, a penalty from James Collins puts them ahead at Pride Park, and Port Vale lead at Lincoln City. Elsewhere in League One, that's Ben Garrity. And Oxford United, managerless Oxford United, lead Leyton Orient. Liam Manning went to take over at Bristol City. Craig Short in temporary charge, but they lead. Here's bukayo Saka for Arsenal at 0-0. Playing the ball up to the edge of the area, looking for Havertz, but they got their wires crossed, and that allowed Burnley to get it half clear. It's won back though by Tomiyasu. Infield for Jorginho, centre of the Burnley half. Just to his left now, receiving the ball is Zinchenko. Gives it back to the Italian Jorginho. Puts both arms out in front of him as if to say, give me an option. Infield it goes to Havertz, trying to roll a couple of challenges, but Burnley get it clear, and Kolyasho tries to dribble his way out of trouble. He's kept it in play. In fact, his manager says leave it as it dribbles out of play, knowing it's going to be giving us a Burnley throw, 0-0.
Yeah, it's all getting a little bit congested, Dance, from Arsenal's point of view, because Burnley just drop a little bit deeper. The 10 outfield players, Dance, were all within the width of the 18-yard box, and only probably, 15 yards between them as you go up the pitch. So Arsenal got to try and get themselves a little bit more width, because they're just trying to play it into Trossard, play it into Havertz. And to be fair to Burnley, I'd say their defensive shape and their aggression out of possession has been very, very good.
0-0 the score. Arsenal keep the ball just in the centre circle. Trossard did well to keep it away from a Burnley midfielder. Now he's got it left-hand side, Trossard. Coming in field, looks to the edge of the area for Martinelli, tries to spin a couple of challenges, only half led by Burnley. In fact, Trossard almost ran onto the loose ball and had a chance inside the area, but there were enough Burnley boots back to put it out, and in fact it's been given as a Burnley throw on the far side. Perry Groves, 0-0.
Just mentioned about the discipline Burnley defensively down to it, so you said they haven't shown all season. They can see they go in every Premier League game. Coutinho just epitomises that there, because he's run all the way over from his right back position. He knew that Trossard was trying to get in that left-hand side position, and he's just followed him all the way over and made sure he got his toe to it first and then ricocheted back off Trossard. So it's whether Burnley now can keep their concentration levels up, because Vincent Kompany, who's right in front of us here in his technical area, you can tell that he's shouting and screaming, especially to his wide players. Koleosho obviously is in front of him here on Burnley's left-hand side, and Goodmanson over on the right, and they've done a really good job at doubling up on bukayo, Saka and Martinelli.
Well, how thrilled would Vincent Kompany be to get his players in at 0-0 at half-time? We're into the 41st minute on TalkSport 2. Plus whatever Michael Oliver wants to add on. Amdouni for Burnley on a rare foray forward for the Clarets down the right-hand side. Being watched by Jorginho, he's won a throw on that far side. Mansfield back ahead at Salford. Davis Keeler done. He gets the second for Mansfield. That's his 9th of the season. And Cardiff equalise against Norwich back up in the Championship. 1-1 at the Cardiff City Stadium. Josh Bowler gets the equaliser. Ball's back on halfway for Burnley with Jordan Bayer. Gives the ball back to James Trafford, who's made a couple of good saves, tipping the ball over the crossbar when required. Most dangerously from bukayo Saka. Now Koleosho away down the left-hand side for Burnley. About 5 yards from the dead ball line. Trying to take the ball away from Tomiyasu. Gets to the edge of the area. Runs out of room, but he still manages to flick the ball back to Charlie Taylor. Now Bayer just over the halfway line as Burnley keep possession here at Emirates Stadium. Koleosho again, driving in field from the left-hand side, gives it to Jay Rodriguez. Koleosho had gone down. I think Rodriguez thought that there was a ball on to give back to the American, but Koleosho had fallen, and Arsenal won the ball back, 0-0.
Yeah, Koleosho wanted a foul from Michael Oliver, just trying to play a little give and go with Rodriguez. And in the end, I think he fell over his own feet, because bukayo Saka was tracking him, and then as Koleosho went to the ground, I think his own right foot clipped his left ankle. He thought it was bukayo Saka. But again, to be fair to Michael Oliver, Dance, his positional play hasn't been very good, keeping himself in and around the action.
Well, he had the action to deal with on Monday night, didn't he? At the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Goodness me. He's had a much calmer afternoon to deal with so far here at the Emirates Stadium. 42 gone on TalkSport 2. 0-0. Arsenal coming forward down the right-hand side with bukayo Saka, level with the Burnley box. Gives the ball back in field to Tomiyasu. Little flick with the outside of his right boot to find Trossard, who weaves and jinks his way outside the area and gives the ball back to bukayo Saka. Quick ball into the area for Havertz with his back to goal. Gives it back to Saka at the edge of the box, but he's been forced away from the area by Burnley defenders. Now Trossard on the right wing, pulls the ball back. Havertz with a heavy touch, and that allows James Trafford to dash out from his goal line and pounce on the loose ball as it trickles into the 6-yard box. 0-0.
That's where Kai Havertz has got to be better. He's got to be tighter with his touch. So it's just cut back to him from the right-hand side from Leandro Trossard. Havertz is in that inside right position, so he's got to make sure that he keeps hold of the ball, and then he can lay it off to bukayo Saka. He said there it was a Tonga touch dance, wasn't it, from Kai Havertz? It just hasn't happened for Arsenal in this first half. The best chance of the first half fell to Goodmanson, where he should have really put Burnley 1-0 up, but it was a fantastic save from David Raya.
Fleetwood 3, Exeter 0. Have I told you Fleetwood had never beaten Exeter?
Haven't they? Oh right, so it looks like that's changing then.
Yeah.
Thanks for that stat.
Carlisle 0, Bristol Rovers 1 in the same division.
How many games was that, do you know?
You might know.
No, I think it was 6.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Drawn 3, lost 4. Don't have the worst record against Wigan Athletic.
Knowledge.
8 matches.
Rice out to the Arsenal left. Martinelli looking to drive at Vitinho. Gets to the left-hand corner of the box. He stumbled a little, but he kept possession for Arsenal. Ticking round towards half-time. We're into the last minute. Almost of normal time in this first half. Lovely run from Martinelli. Gets to the byline. Skipped away from Vitinho just for a moment. Still hasn't delivered the cross. Now he does, but it's beyond everybody in the red and white shirt. But Saka does extremely well to keep it in play on this near side. Touched back neatly by Havertz to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu gives it back to Saka down the right-hand side of the Burnley box. He goes back in field to Jorginho. Jorginho finds Gabriel, who tried an ambitious drive, blocked by Sander Berge, 20 yards from goal. Comes out to Tomiyasu on the right-hand side, feinted to cross with his right. Checks back and goes in field for Jorginho. Back for the Japanese fullback once more. Now Jorginho in field for Declan Rice. Rice now driving forward, trying to get the better of Amdouni. Jorginho will pick up possession once more for Arsenal. Closing stages of the first half. There's only going to be 1 minute of minimum added time that we're about to go into here at Emirates Stadium. Zinchenko looking out to the left-hand side for Gabriel Martinelli. Once again, Coutinho watching him. Goodmanson there too. Zinchenko, first time ball into the box. Saka heads it up to the far post and touched in by Leandro Trossard. He's gone down in a heap as he put the ball into the net, colliding with Trafford. But Leandro Trossard has been brave and has put Arsenal in front by gambling at the far post for a header. He'll get treatment, but when he gets to his feet, he'll know that he's put Arsenal in front just when they needed it most, right on half-time. Arsenal 1, Burnley 0.
Dan, as you said there, it was real bravery there from Leandro Trossard, because as the ball dropped out of the air, he knew that he was going to clatter into that post, and I think, lucky enough, Dan, I think it's his shoulder or his arm, not his head, that he's smacked onto the post. But just build up play from Arsenal initially down the left-hand side with Gabriel Martinelli, comes back to Zinchenko, he crosses the ball in, bukayo Saka gets the header back across goal. So Trossard loses his marker, just watches the flight of the ball and nods it in from probably about half a yard, but he knows he's going to smash into that post. Real bravery there from Leandro Trossard to put Arsenal 1-0 up against Burnley. He's still receiving treatment as we speak.
Yeah, he did clatter into the far post as he applied the header. Perfectly timed run, no question of offside or anything like that. The Arsenal fans around us heading for the concourses give their applause, and it's finally announced over the public address system that the Belgian has given Arsenal the lead. That's his 3rd Premier League goal of the season. Before today he had 2 each in League Cup and Champions League. Now 3 goals in the Prem. And he's just sitting up now inside the Burnley 6-yard box. So for all of their efforts in the first half, Burnley will go in at the break a goal down, Perry Groves.
To be fair, Dan, you have to feel for Vincent Kompany and his Burnley side, because they have been very, very good in this first half. They've been defensively solid, they've got to the ball, they've closed down, they've been disciplined, and the one time that they've lost concentration is when the ball comes in, obviously, from Zinchenko on the left-hand side. Bukayo Saka comes in from the right, and again it's a very clever header from Bukayo Saka, just helps the ball back across the penalty area. Leandro Trossard losing his marker and just nodding it in from half a yard. And you have to say that Burnley didn't really deserve that. They deserved to go in at 0-0. But you've got to make sure, say, that your concentration levels stay very, very high when you're playing against the high-quality teams. They've just switched off and they've found themselves 1-0 down.
Now the Burnley players are just speaking to Michael Oliver, saying, are you checking for anything else with regard to that goal? Was there a foul? But Michael Oliver is stridently walking back to the halfway line so that play can restart, with Burnley getting play back underway. Meanwhile, Trossard is walking to this near touchline. He'll get a
don't you dare
real ovation as he, I'm not going to say it,
hesitantly,
as he's going to get a warm round of applause from the Arsenal supporters down in front of us, as he's the man that's having to shoulder the responsibility. Having hurt his shoulder, he's the man who's got Arsenal in front, with Gabriel Jesus missing, with Eddie Nketiah only fit enough for the bench. Trossard's made the difference and we're back underway at 1-0 to the Arsenal.
You know how the game has definitely changed, right? Something's just happened there that's just blown my mind. Go on. Leandro Trossard has walked past Vincent Kompany, who's just put his team 1-0 down. And Vincent Kompany just put his hand on his shoulder and his head as if to say, oh, you're right, mate, I'm not hurt too much.
Well, every day's a school day.
Am I too old school?
I don't know, but you know, it's a compassionate soul, Vincent Kompany. What can I tell you? He is Belgian, don't forget. They are compatriots.
So is it hands across the channel, is it?
Something like that. Now, down the right-hand side of the box, Coutinho for Burnley. Can they respond before the break? It's left for Sanderberger to try across, flicks across the area by Goodmanson, but good goalkeeping from David Raya, swiftly up his line to catch hold of the loose ball.
Perhaps Vincent Company might buy Leandro Trossard some chocolates and if he's Belgium after the game.
Well, it's more about half-time cuppers at the minute because the whistle's gone at Emirates Stadium, and as it stands, Arsenal are going to go level with Manchester City at the top of the Premier League. It took them the whole of the first half to get their noses in front. Burnley had opportunities through Amdouni and notably a chance for Johan Berg-Gudson that was superbly saved by David Raya. Arsenal had had a couple of sighters, notably one from bukayo Saka that was well tipped over by James Trafford, but at the end of the half, lovely cushion header found Leandro Trossard at the far post, and even though he collided with the post, his header found the back of the net past Trafford, and Arsenal lead by a goal to nil at the break. So, half-time at Emirates. Arsenal 1, Burnley 0.
That was a really weird half of football. It felt as if Arsenal were completely in control of it, Perry, but just couldn't find the final touch. They created so much. Burnley, as you say, deserved to go in
at 0-0.
At 0-0.
Definitely. I was very, very impressed with Burnley. We said before how flaky they've been, defensively away from home and at home. But their team shape, they've got the 4-4-2, the distance between the back four and the midfield four are very good. Obviously Rodriguez and Amdouni working back in the wide areas. I think that Vintinho, especially the right back for Burnley, has been absolutely outstanding. He was winning his 1v1s against Martinelli. So Burnley worked their socks off, and you could say that Vincent Kompany's coaching staff were probably looking at their watches thinking, right, long as we can just see this last minute out, we're getting at 0-0, and it's been a really brilliant half from us. There was only 1 minute of added on time, and in that 1 minute, unfortunately Burnley, Arsenal managed to create their most clear-cut chance, and Trossard showing unbelievable bravery, obviously at the far post from bukayo Saka's header back across. Knew he was going to smash into the post and just obviously got his shoulder there. For Arsenal, you'd have to say, undeservedly 1-0 up at half-time.
I thought Zinchenko's been really bright actually for Arsenal because he's been putting the balls in the box. Kai Havertz regularly finds himself with his back to goal.
Finding himself with his back to goal isn't as much of a problem if he holds onto the ball.
But he isn't.
Exactly. So as it's coming into him, we've had a lot of times when he's been in this inside right position, as you said there, like trying to link up with bukayo Saka and Tomiyasu on this right hand side, and it's been rolled into him, and the touch has got away from him. It's been where it should be into his body, then he can play the little 1-2s and little flicks. His first touch has been really heavy. I just think it's a player that's really lacking in confidence, because he had an opportunity halfway through the first half where actually marauded down that inside left position, and the whole Emirates Stadium, you could think they was urging him to shoot.
Yeah.
He ended up passing it to his left-hand side, and it went to Trossard, who's trying to get to Martinelli. So I've been there myself. When you're lacking confidence, you just try and do the easy thing, or you're like, he looks tense when it's coming into him.
It almost feels like his teammates don't have the confidence in him though either. They're picking other options because they're seeing he's not doing it. Gabriel's had a few shots himself, but he's coming in from central defence thinking, well, I'll have a go then if you're not going to.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I think what it is, when it's coming to Kai Havertz, it's breaking down. Then subconsciously the Arsenal players think, right, we'll go for a different option. So it just hasn't worked. And actually, to be honest, on the inside left position, Declan Rice hasn't really been involved that much, because Declan Rice isn't at his best when a team is defending very deep and there's loads of bodies in front of him. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mikel Arteta has a change maybe in 10-15 minutes into the second half. But you've got to say, if it wasn't for David Raya, then Arsenal wouldn't be going in 1-0 up half-time, because Goodmanson had the best, most clear-cut chance of the first half, where he's got it onto his left foot, left-hand side of the box, and he's hit it back across David Raya, which is the right thing to do. And it's a brilliant save low down. The goalkeepers will tell you the hardest save to make is the one that's probably a yard to 2 yards away from your feet. And it's actually gone behind him, and he's taken a lot of stick, David Raya, hasn't he? Obviously taken over Ramsdale, but that was a world-class save.
Yeah, and actually they've been a threat on the counter-attack, Burnley as well, but maybe just need more opportunities than that in the second half. Disappointing for Vincent Kompany and his side to go in a goal down, but they do. Leandro Trossard put Arsenal ahead in the dying seconds of this first half. Second half action to come. A big game at both ends of the table in the Premier League tonight at 5:30. Let's look ahead to it. It's tonight's Premier League action with Now Sports.
Stay ahead of the game on TalkSport 2 with Now. Stream all the Sky Sports action like Bournemouth versus Newcastle live today for £11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports, 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply.
TalkSport's Ian Abrahams is going to be watching Eddie Howe's return to the Vitality Stadium. He's got a bare-bones squad to pick from, hasn't he, Ian?
Yeah, he has. Good afternoon. Welcome to the South Coast, where it's been a gorgeous day. Cold, but there wasn't a cloud in the sky earlier on. It's just beginning to cloud over a bit now. You're right. I mean, this is his second return to the Vitality, and he's not come with a squad which you would like. There's no Bruno Guimaraes tonight. He's suspended. Obviously, we know about Sandro Tonali. We know about Alexander Isak. We're waiting to see whether Callum Wilson is fit or not. So it will be very much, I think, a bit of a mix and match. But Eddie Howe would love to come here and win again. And I suppose, looking at the statistics, you think to yourself, Newcastle unbeaten in the last 7. Bournemouth off the back of that absolute tanking they got at Man City last weekend. If it goes to form, then Newcastle will win. But Newcastle don't always go to form, I guess.
No, they don't, and Bournemouth desperately need the points, don't they? And Andoni Iraola seems to be quite calm about the situation, but they've got their own injury problems as well. Though Lewis Cook is returning from a ban, and at least their goalkeeper Neto is back in training. But something has to start clicking for Bournemouth, surely.
Yeah, gutted for their youngster they bought in the summer from Bristol City, Alex Scott. Really good player. When people actually get to see what this kid can do, he is sensational. He really is. And, they're not going to get to see him today. He's out, I think, until the new year. So, as you rightly say, Lewis Cook back in the team. I saw him be sent off here against Wolves for a ridiculous headbutt last month. But they did win against Burnley. That was a big win for Areola. I think he was under big pressure, more pressure than he or Bournemouth would have let on that day. Weren't expecting anything last weekend, and maybe not this weekend, but the fixtures do tend to ease up a bit for them. I worry about where the goals come from. If they don't come from Dominic Solanke, I wonder who's going to step forward. Well, the last time I was here, I saw a sumptuous goal from 30-35 yards out, a lob over the goalkeeper, James Trafford, by Philip Billing, so maybe he'll chip in. But I think Bournemouth, as I say, on the form book, they're really up against it today.
Yeah, he's been their shining light, hasn't he, Philip Billing? Enjoy the game. Updates from Ian Abrahams over on TalkSport during the game day phone-in with Gabby Agbonlahor and Jamie O'Hara from 5:30 later on. That was a look ahead to this afternoon's Premier League action with Now Sports. Don't forget, with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Bournemouth and Newcastle live today for £11.99, no contract. Just search Now Sports.
Stay ahead of the game on TalkSport 2 with Now. Stream all the Sky Sports action like Bournemouth versus Newcastle live today for £11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports, 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply.
This is Game Day exclusive on TalkSport 2. Second half action of Arsenal Burnley coming next from the Emirates, and we'll bring you the halftime scores from across the Premier League and EFL.
Game Day exclusive on TalkSport 2 with Now. Stream all the Sky Sports action like Bournemouth versus Newcastle live today for £11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports, 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply.
Running low on rule plugs? Going through cutting discs on the double? With Screwfix Trade Bulk Save, you can get up to 10% off the stuff you use the most. Buy more and save more on thousands of products. From everyday essentials like sealants to switches and sockets. And with Click and Collect, you can get what you need in as little as 1 minute. Shop now on the app at screwfix.com or in store. Screwfix, the choice of champions. T's and C's apply. Visit screwfix.com for full details.
Y'all ready for something new? Just eat. Oh, you thought it was just burgers and fries. They got more flavors than you tasted or you heard in your life.
We're bringing more to your door.
When you're this slick, what you gon' do? Did somebody say just eat?
We all fantasize about our perfect home, sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Christmas jumpers? Novelty socks? They're a way off yet, right? Wrong. This year, Christmas starts early with McDonald's festive wins. Every day in November, you can win amazing Mackey's merch, incredible prizes, or unlock a range of tasty food offers too. So if all you want for Christmas is a 99p Big Mac, play festive wins now. Only on the McDonald's app. 18 plus until the 30th of November. 1 entry per day. UK only. T's and C's apply.
Reckon the £100 million wonder kid will pay off? Heard that rumour about their striker. Can't wait to see what the pundits make of that booking. Looking forward to the match report on this one. When it comes to football, never miss a story. From news and opinion to interviews and gossip. Get the best coverage at thesun.co.uk.
Rodri to De Bruyne. Flicked on to Walker. Goal! No one saw that coming.
Or as we say in Japan, no arteta wa tsume o kakusu. The smart hawk hides its talents. For a taste beyond expected, Asahi Super Dry, official beer partners of Manchester City. Enjoy responsibly. Visit drinkaware.co.uk.
The games, the goals, and the glory.
Oh, he's found the net!
Game day. Brilliant strike.
Live football coverage that's beyond compare.
Game day exclusive.
On TalkSport 2.
This is Game Day. Halftime classifieds.
This is Game Day exclusive on TalkSport 2. I'm Faker Ruthers. Let's take a classified check on the half-time scores, starting with
Premier League.
It was a result at Molineux. Wolves 2, Tottenham 1. At half-time, Arsenal 1, Burnley 0. Crystal Palace 1, Everton 1. Manchester United 0, Luton 0.
Sky Bet Championship.
Sunderland 3, Birmingham 1 is a result. Cardiff 2, Norwich 1 at half-time. Coventry 0, Stoke 0. Hull 0, Huddersfield 0. Ipswich 2, Swansea 1. Leeds 2, Plymouth 0, Middlesbrough 0, Leicester 0, QPR 0, Bristol City 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Millwall 2, Southampton 1, West Brom 0, Watford 2, Rotherham 0.
Sky Bet League 1.
It finished Peterborough 5, Cambridge United 0. At half-time it's Bolton 0, Blackpool 0, Carlisle 0, Bristol Rovers 1, Cheltenham 1, Wigan 1, Derby 1, Barnsley 0, Fleetwood 3, Exeter 0, Leyton Orient 0, Oxford United 2, Lincoln 0, Port Vale 1, Northampton 0, Burton 0, Portsmouth 1, Charlton 0, Shrewsbury 1, Reading 1, and Wickham 0, Stevenage 1 still playing.
Sky Bet League 2.
AFC Wimbledon 1, Doncaster 0, Bradford City 1, Barrow 1, Colchester 0, Sutton 0, Crawley 1, Accrington 1, Crewe 0, Notts County 0, Grimsby 0, Morecambe 1, Newport 0, MK Dons 0, Salford 1, Mansfield 2, Swindon 1, Stockport 0, Tranmere 1, Forest Green 0, Walsall 0, Harrogate 0, Wrexham 1, Gillingham 0. We're live here at the Emirates ahead of second half action between Arsenal and Burnley, with Arsenal leading by a goal to nil thanks to Leandro Trossard's 45th minute header, which then caused the game to be ever so slightly delayed while he was dealt with in terms of an arm injury, having clattered into the post, having scored that goal. Burnley had been great defensively up until that point and had a great chance themselves in the first half through Gudmundsson, but it was a fantastic save from David Raya that prevented them scoring. So all to play for here. I don't think it's quite over. Perry Groves and Ian Dancer alongside me, building up into this second half. And Burnley are going to have some talking to from Vincent Kompany, I'm sure, because they're still well in this game, Perry.
Yeah, very much. I think he'll be very pleased with their all-round performance in that first half. We said before the game that when they get chances, they've got to try and be clinical. If you're being hypercritical, Gudmundsson probably should have scored, but it was a brilliant save from David Raya. And I think the problem that Burnley had all season is they defended really well for 45 minutes, and then they just switched off when the ball came in from the left-hand side with Zinchenko. Sander Berge switched off, and I think it was O'Shea on the far post as well, where Leandro Trossard got in behind him and ended up smashing against the post to put Arsenal 1-0 up. But he'll be pleased with his team performance, and we were saying
it's really strange the way the narrative will change because Arsenal gone in 1-0 up, it will change from lacking a bit of urgency and creativity in the first half to being very patient and very considered, just waiting for that chance of being clinical. So it would be much the same, I think, in the second half. And Burnley have been a threat going forward.
Yeah, Burnley, the first team out. They'd been having conversations with the referee Michael Oliver as well just before they came out of the tunnel. Arsenal now on their way out, and actually they're going to need their fans to be a little bit more behind them in this second half, because you mentioned it in commentary a few times, Perry, they were very quiet.
It was a little bit flat. I've been lucky enough to be here a lot last season, this season, and the atmosphere at the Amateurs has been absolutely electric. I think there may be even been a little bit of complacency and expectancy from the fans, because when we looked around when the North London Forever theme was, it was half empty.
Yeah.
Whereas before in the Emirates it's always been full. So maybe there's that, complacency that then went onto the pitch. But Arsenal are going in 1-0 up at half time, so that'll make them a little bit more relaxed and not as sort of tense in this second half. Be interesting to see what he does with Kai Havertz as well.
Yeah, certainly. Big second half coming up for both these sides. Sit back and enjoy second half action. Live and exclusive here on TalkSport 2 of Arsenal Burnley with your commentary team of Perry Groves and Ian Danta.
Thank you, Faye. Arsenal unbeaten in 37 home league encounters against promoted opposition. Newcastle were the last team to come here as a promoted side and win. That was back in November 2010, and they've won 32 of those ensuing 37 in the unbeaten run since Arsenal. And they get us underway in the second half in their red and white shirts, white shorts and socks, heading for the North Bank. Burnley coming forward with Koleosho early in the second half. Angles tightened. Raya did enough to divert the ball behind for a corner kick, as suddenly the American winger showed a real turn of pace to get away down the left-hand side of the box and was almost in on goal. 1-0 to Arsenal.
Fantastic run from Koleosho coming in from that left-hand side, linked up with Jay Rodriguez. He actually got away from Saliba, and in the end it was actually Saliba who sort of clashed with David Raya, and Saliba actually got his left foot to it down. He just poked it away from Koleosho. Brilliant run from Koleosho. Corner for Burnley over their left-hand side.
To be taken by Goodmanson. Left-footed delivery high to the far post. Coutinho heads it across goal. Comes out to the edge of the box. Dara O'Shea lifts it back into the area, but that'll bounce through to Raya. Quickly through the lineups for you. Raya in goal for Arsenal. Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko in the back four. Havertz, Jorginho, Rice, Saka, Trossard, the goal scorer, and Martinelli. For Burnley, Trafford in goal, Coutinho, O'Shea, Bayer and Taylor, Goodmanson, Berger, Brownhill and Koleosho, Rodriguez and Amdouni. No changes made yet by either manager, either in the first half or at the turnaround. Grimsby have just equalised at home to Morecambe in League 2. Danny Rose of Blundell Park making it 1-1. We're into the second minute of the second half here. Still Arsenal fans filing past our commentary position in this lower tier of the West Stand to take their seats for the second period. Ball's back on halfway with William Saliba. Plays the ball out to Declan Rice, hugging this left-hand touchline into the feet of Gabriel Martinelli. Had to fire it back to halfway, and Saliba. Zinchenko playing this inverted full-back role this afternoon. Gives the ball to Rice in a left-sided left-wing position for the moment. Out to the left-hand side first. Now Martinelli looking to maybe drive at Coutinho. Thinks better of it. Gives it infield to Zinchenko. But it's won back by Goodmanson, and Amdouni just rolls his foot on the ball a couple of times. Great skill from Zeki Amdouni, and he flicks the ball up to Jay Rodriguez, and there was a foul on a Burnley player. That was very, very neatly done by Zeki Amdouni, the Swiss who signed from Basel in July. Free kick to Burnley, but Arsenal are 1-0 up here.
Yeah, good technique from Amdouni, just buying the foul, but before that, Goodmanson did brilliantly well, because Zinchenko was just trying to play a little give and go with Leandro Trossard, and again he made sure he did his defensive duties, which Burnley had been very good in the first half, apart from that one moment they switched off, obviously, in that added minute of time at the end of the first half when Trossard scored.
Derby 2, Barnsley 0 in League 1. Craig Forsyth with the second for the Rams, and Tranmere 2-0 up on Forest Green at Prenton Park. That's Christian Dennis with the second for Nigel Adkins' side. That's down in League 2 this afternoon. In the Premier League, still goalless at Manchester United against Luton. Crystal Palace 1-1 with Everton. And in the Championship, I didn't bring you right at the end of the first half. Cardiff came from behind to lead against troubled Norwich City. They're 2-1 up at the Cardiff City Stadium. Here's Gabriel Martinelli for Arsenal. Arsenal leading by a goal to nil. Lovely ball down the left-hand side of the box for Trossard. Across the face of goal, and it's turned behind by Josh Brownhill, the Burnley captain, for an early Arsenal corner at the North Bank end. It's the 8th corner of the game and they lead 1-0.
Yeah, good link-up play on Arsenal's left-hand side. Martinelli just a lovely little ball outside of his right foot.
And a short corner for Zinchenko, who doesn't cross, actually works it back to Jorginho, deeper inside the half, back towards the halfway line. He plays a lovely little clip ball infield to Tomiyasu, slides it down the left-hand side of the area for Martinelli, gets the better of Koleosho, plays a 1-2 with Zinchenko, deep ball to the far post, claims for a push on Gabriel, not given by Michael Oliver, and the ball's back with Declan Rice for Arsenal. He drills the ball into the box, it's overhit, and out on the full for a goal kick to Burnley. Arsenal 1, Burnley 0, 5 gone in the second half on TalkSport 2.
The Arsenal just trying to create a bit of pressure again down this left-hand side. Good play with Zinchenko and Martinelli. Martinelli getting to the byline, just dinged up on the far post. To be fair, it was Rodriguez who made sure that he stayed with Gabriel, and Gabriel completely over-exaggerating. It's just like he'd been unleashed his parachute dance, wasn't it, when you come down and you're not that star shape.
Ball's back with Burnley.
Never been a penalty.
Back it goes to James Trafford. Dara O'Shea looks up and spots Johan Bergmanson just shy of the halfway line, but the ball sails over his head and is collected neatly by Zinchenko. Looks for Martinelli, tight to this near touch line. Lovely ball work back in field for Zinchenko. He tried to slide in Trossard. It did almost break for the Belgian at the edge of the box, but Burnley have enough back. And it's stumped downfield by the goalkeeper Trafford. Crystal Palace 1, Everton 2. Everton retake the lead in South London. Abdullah Doucouré. And Oxford managed to lose Oxford 3-0 up at Leyton Orient now. As Ruben Rodriguez puts Craig Short's side further ahead, and Grimsby have turned it around against Morecambe in League 2. They lead 2-1.
Is that soon to be Frank Lampard's Oxford United?
We still have to use that prefix again, do we, if he gets the gig? Well, whether he's there or not, I don't know. What I do know is Joe Edwards Millwall, if that's what we call them, are 3-0 up at Sheffield Wednesday. Wes Harding gets in on the act. Nobody in 5 for Millwall, but this England elite coach Joe Edwards brought in. Great start for him up the league at Sheffield Wednesday.
Mind you, if he was picking a team in the Championship that you wanted to play against, it probably would be Sheffield Wednesday, wouldn't it? In your
Just one win, yes. Even with their new manager, who's talking about using this international break as a kind of pre-season for Sheffield Wednesday, Danny Rourke. Arsenal 1-0 up and attacking the Burnley penalty area with Martinelli. It's left for Trossard, gives it back to Zinchenko. Martinelli again, darts for the byline left-hand side, trying to flick it in field. Not sure who he's looking for. He was trying to hit it against Berger and out for a corner. Either way, it has come to be claimed by James Trafford. 1-0 Arsenal.
I think it was a great run into the 18-yard box by the invisible man, because there was absolutely nobody there, Dan. So he said with the outside of his right foot on the byline, he's just trying to flick it inside, and the nearest player to Martin was Leandro Trossard, who was probably 10 yards behind him.
Finally, the Arsenal fans find a bit of a voice early in this second half. It has been fairly quiet here in North London. Burnley coming forward with Coutinho down this near touchline, right in front of Vincent Kompany, standing at the edge of his technical area, right in front of our commentary position, with the clock end to our right and the North Bank to our left. The North Bank is the one that Arsenal are attacking in this second period. Leyton Orient get one back against Oxford. 1-3 the score. Finlay Stevens with an own goal. And Dominic Bernard's been given a second yellow card for Forest Green, losing at Tranmere. 2 lemons make a strawberry. And away goes Koleosho down the left-hand side for Burnley. Looking to get the better of Tomiyasu. He's in the area, pulls it back to Rodriguez, can't get the shot in, comes out to the edge of the area, and Josh Brownhill equalises for Burnley. Slides on his knees to those Burnley fans in the corner of the stadium. There was bedlam inside the box. Kolyosho made the run at first, pulled it back. He was only half cleared, and the Burnley captain strode onto the ball, aimed goalwards. It took a deflection, wrong-footed Raya, and Burnley are level in North London. Arsenal 1, Burnley 1.
It was a brilliant run from that man, Kolyosho again, on that left-hand side. The ball come back out to Josh Brownhill, and he's got his shot away. I think he might take a deflection, but Kolyosho goes on the outside of Tomiyasu. Arsenal want a foul. It's never been a foul. Kolyosho then pulls the ball back, comes back to Brownhill with his left foot. He gets a really good strike through the centre of the ball. Michael Oliver's right on the spot, and then as he gets his left foot strike away, I think it takes a deflection maybe off of Jay Rodriguez. It looks like that, obviously as a centre forward you'll be claiming that. They're going to have probably a VAR check, but I don't think that's going to be overturned.
No, that's come off.
It come off Gabriel.
And they're checking for possible foul on the monitors in front of us. So Michael Oliver is just biding his time. The ball hasn't been placed back on the centre spot just yet. But as it stands, we are all square at Emirates Stadium. Josh Brownhill, who scored against Tottenham earlier in the season, the Burnley captain, sweeping the ball home. And it did come off Gabriel on its way in, and the goal has been confirmed, and it will be 1-1. And Arsenal have been pegged back, and now the Arsenal fans are going to find their voice again. Terry Groves.
Yeah, we said that Burnley are very good in the first half. Actually, they've been very competitive again in this second half. Kolyosho had a good chance earlier on at the beginning, right in the second half, Dan, didn't he, where he went outside of Saliba. There he went on the outside of Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu's got to be stronger. It was just a coming together. Ball come back to Josh Brownhill. Said he got his left foot shot away. I think he was probably on target, even though it got a ricochet off of Gabriel. So goal will probably go down to Josh Brownhill. So Arsenal 1, Burnley 1.
And it's 1-1 at the county ground. Swindon 1, Stockport 1. League Two leaders level through Will Collar. And Chesterfield lead Barnet in that massive game in the National League this afternoon. That's first against second. Chesterfield 1, Barnet 0, Armando Dobra. So 1-1 on TalkSport 2 with 10 minutes gone in the second half. Goodmanson for Burnley. Works it back to Dara O'Shea just in front of the halfway line. Fourth official is just having words on half. There might be a change coming. In the meantime, here come Arsenal. Martinelli sprinting into the area left-hand side. Goes for goal, and it's blocked behind by the leg of James Trafford. Arsenal corner at the North Bank, 1-1.
Really good goalkeeping from James Trafford. He made sure that he didn't let Martinelli get it in his near post. Great little ball from Declan Rice, released Martinelli, got himself the wrong side of Vitinho. He's just trying to toe poke it in James Trafford's near post. There's a long barrier from James Trafford, corner for Arsenal on the left-hand side.
So it's going to be taken a right-footed in-swinger from Leandro Trossard. Plenty of Arsenal players beyond the far post for this corner kick. Now they make a run across the face of goal, and he's headed in! They're back in front! William Saliba! Right in front of James Trafford! Got his head to Trossard's corner, firm and true into the back of the net, and Arsenal were only level for a couple of minutes before retaking the lead. William Saliba, with his first goal of the season in the Premier League, makes it Arsenal 2, Burnley 1. They're going level with Manchester City.
Yes, Burnley have just completely switched off from the corner. It's a great delivery from the left-hand side from Leandro Trossard, in swinging with his right foot. Then Saliba's at the near post, just comes off the back of his marker, and in the end, Dance, it's a very simple header from a yard in front of James Trafford. The goalkeeper just got himself pinned in. Saliba gets away from his marker, and there's 5 Burnley players around the ball. Not one of them has gone to attack it. It's a very, very poor goal from Burnley's point of view. Good set piece from Arsenal's point of view to put Arsenal back in the league, 2-1 up against Burnley.
And that prompts Mikel Arteta to make a change. I thought there was some activity down on the subs bench, and Fabio Vieira is coming on for Kai Havertz. Now, I don't know whether that's tactical or whether Kai Havertz is feeling something and needs to come off, but he hasn't, again, shone for Arsenal this afternoon, Kai Havertz, as he comes on?
No, it's not tactical, Dads. I think it's just because you've got a player there in Kai Havertz who's just lacking in confidence. We said in the first half, didn't we, that his touch was a bit heavy a few times, so that's just like for like. So just like that, Declan Rice will now come over. The inside left position, and Fabio Vieira just stay over in that inside right position.
Singing the old tequila song for Saliba, getting that second Arsenal goal to put them back in front as we approach the hour mark on TalkSport 2. So Burnley now have to redouble their efforts. The foul on Martinelli by Jay Rodriguez, who tells Martinelli to get up. Michael Oliver just calmly points for a free kick to Arsenal. Grimsby 3-1 up on Walkham. Raquel Pike for Grimsby with the third. Watford 3-0 up on Rotherham in the Championship. Ipswich 3-1 up on Swansea in the Championship. And Manchester United lead Luton by a goal to nil through Victor Lindelof at Old Trafford. Goals as they go in on TalkSport 2. But the important goals that have gone in here are the two for Arsenal and the one for Burnley. And now you can hear the Emirates in full voice with the Gunners back in front. Saliba just in front of his own 18-yard line gives the ball to Tomiyasu, who did have his hands full with Luka Kolyosho for that Burnley equaliser. Tomiyasu. Saliba finds Gabriel, tries to pass through the halfway line. One back temporarily by Burnley, but Rice strongly in front of Goodmanson to win it back. Now Martinelli scampering down this near side of the left once more. Just checks his run for a moment, gives it back to Zinchenko. Zinchenko back into the centre circle for Saliba, the goal scorer. Tomiyasu sends it out to the right-hand side, and a chance for Vieira to get involved for the first time this afternoon. Fabio Vieira on for Kai Havertz. 1-0, 2-1 rather to Arsenal. Here's Martinelli up against Coutinho, one-on-one down the left-hand side of the area. Checks onto his right, feeds it infield to Trossard. Trossard's got Zinchenko on the left-hand side. First time ball very deep from Zinchenko, asking a lot of Fabio Vieira, but he will keep it in play. Out on the far side of the Arsenal right, gives it back to Tomiyasu. Works infield to Jorginho now. Gabriel lets Zinchenko take over, and it's slid out back to Martinelli on the left wing. Martinelli, once again faced up by Coutinho. Goes infield for Zinchenko. Martinelli again, level with the Burnley penalty area. Infield to Gabriel. Again, half a thought about a shot at goal, but his first touch didn't allow him to get the ball directly out from under his feet. Chested by Trossard out to the left-hand side for Martinelli. Just gets into the box slightly left-hand side. Trossard's there in support at the left-hand corner of the area. Lofts it into the near post, but Sander Berg back there to head it clear. But Trossard first to the loose ball, keeping Burnley penned in here. Saliba finds Tomiyasu. 2-1 Arsenal lead. 61 minutes played on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, from Burnley's point of view, Vincent Kompany would be absolutely devastated, because they needed, when they got themselves back into it 1-1, they needed just to ride out that next 10 minutes. They conceded within, what, minute and a half, 2 minutes? And it's James Trafford, young goalkeeper.
Now, down the left-hand side of the box, Trossard trying to latch on to a 1-2. He played with Zinchenko, but Coutinho slid in well. Put it behind for another corner kick to Arsenal. I make that double figures now in terms of corner kicks for the Gunners this afternoon. 2-1 they lead.
We have to say Coutinho in the right-back position for Burnley, Dan, has been absolutely outstanding, because obviously Martinelli is a very difficult customer to come up against. At the moment, he's winning that 1v1 battle, but Trossard's come to the fore. Obviously Saliba has got the goal to put Arsenal 2-1 up.
So corner once again for Arsenal at the North Bank end. Trossard once again is standing over it. Zinchenko at the left-hand corner of the box, but Trossard goes again under the crossbar, flicked to the far post. Again, it was dangerous from Arsenal, but it's been cleared. Back to Trossard, drills the ball into the box, but that's a much more comfortable claim for James Trafford. England have beaten Pakistan by 93 runs in the Cricket World Cup, which may not mean anything in terms of their qualification for the semi-finals, but what that does mean is that England have secured their place at the 2025 ICC Champions Trophy.
So basically they're the best of the worst.
Yeah, that's beautifully put, Kerry. But the Cricket World Cup will continue without them. Derby 3, Barnsley 0 in League One. James Collins with his second of the afternoon to put Derby 3 up against Barnsley, who've got a very important FA Cup replay to come on Tuesday night, live on TalkSport 2 at Horsham, down there in Sussex. It was 3-3 at Oakwell. Brilliant performance from Horsham to force the replay, and that is live on TalkSport 2 Tuesday night from 7:30. Ollie Klink and Darren Ambrose will be there for you. Swindon 2, Stockport 1. Swindon back in front at the county ground, and Jake Young with his 12th of the season for the Robins against the League 2 leaders. Chesterfield 2, Barnet 0 in that first v second in the National League. Will Grigg with the second for the Spyrites. Now Burnley trying to win the ball on halfway. They're 2-1 down here, the Clarets, having forced their way back into this game. They now have to rethink their attacking options. They haven't made any changes yet, Vincent Kompany's Clarets. Amdouni buffets the challenge of Declan Rice on halfway and floats a neat ball out to Goodmanson on this near side, the Burnley right. He comes in field to the centre of the half and plays a square ball just to his left for Charlie Taylor. Taylor gets his head up, lays it off to Brownhill, out to the dangerous Koleosho. Once again, one-on-one with Tomiyasu. Goes for goal, Koleosho, quite ambitiously from 25 yards, and it's snaked well wide of Raya's right-hand post. You're listening to Arsenal 2, Burnley 1 on TalkSport 2 with Now. Don't forget that with Now, you can stream all of the Sky Sports action, like Bournemouth versus Newcastle United, live today for £11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. And during the course of the game day phone-in on TalkSport with Gabriel and Jamie O'Hara, plenty of updates from the Eddie Howe return to the South Coast. Bournemouth, Newcastle at 5:30, Perry.
I think Jamie will still be loving the Ange ball as well, on the front foot with that high line.
Miles off it. I bet that'll be the first.
It's injuries, isn't it?
Miles off it. That may well come out of his mouth at some point this afternoon. And no doubt Gabriel will be poking Jamie with sticks about that late Mario Lemina winner. They'll be brought you on TalkSport at lunchtime.
He's probably sharpening them as we speak.
Absolutely. West Brom level at Southampton 1-1. St Mary's. Kyle Bartley. So impressed with what Carlos Corberán is doing with a very, very small squad at West Bromwich Albion. 4 unbeaten going into today. AFC Wimbledon 2 up on Doncaster. Another from Ali Al-Hamadi, his second of the afternoon for the Dons. Arsenal 2-1 up and coming forward with Trossard. He's got Vieira to his right. He's got into the area. He didn't slip him in when he had the chance. Declan Rice went for goal and only just wide of the post with Trafford at full stretch. Fabio Vieira very disappointed he didn't receive the pass from Trossard, who didn't get his head up, but the ball still broke 25 yards out for Declan Rice, who cracked one just wide of James Trafford's right-hand post. Arsenal 2, Burnley 1.
It was a great ball initially in from Jorginho into Leandro Trossard in that inside right position. As you said, Ed, that he should be rolling out to Fabio Vieira, who's unmarked. He tries to check back onto his right foot, then he gets blocked, comes out to Declan Rice, and from our angle down to look like it was going to be nestling in James Trafford's bottom left-hand corner, had him scrambling, just went probably, half a yard wide.
Wasn't far off from Declan Rice at all. But it remains Arsenal 2, Burnley 1 on TalkSport 2 as we approach the midway point of the second half. Down goes Jorginho, thrown to the ground almost by Jay Rodriguez, but Michael Oliver waves play on with Arsenal in possession. Rice on the halfway line, faced up by Amdouni, just elegantly brings the ball away from him and plays it out to this near left-hand side, and Martinelli. Good quick feet and passing from Arsenal. Martinelli again receives it down the left-hand side of the box for Arsenal, faced up by Vitinho, shaping to cross Martinelli, but still hasn't delivered the ball in yet. Got Zinchenko in support. Also Trossard there, has to go back a little further towards the halfway line than he would have liked to find Gabriel. Now Trossard feeding it down the left-hand side of the box, looking for Martinelli, but that was good defending by Sander Berge coming back. But it's yet another Arsenal corner at the north bank end this time. It is 2-1 to the Gunners.
Yeah, just Gabriel Martinelli on the underlap there. Just finding himself picking the ball up from Leandro Trossard. You said there Sander Berge did really well down, didn't he? Just made sure he followed his runner. Just toe poked the ball away from Martinelli. Another corner for Arsenal there. left-hand side to get taken by Leandro Trossard.
A right-footed in-swinger to come from the Belgian. In it goes again underneath the crossbar. Headed goalwards, attempted to be headed goalwards anyway by Gabriel, but Burnley get it clear. Jorginho, though, intelligently heads it back out to this left-hand side for the corner taker Trossard. At the corner of the area, ships the ball to the far post. Up goes Jordan Bayer to head it half clear for Burnley. He's there again as the ball came back into the box and has to go back to halfway Arsenal and find Fabio Vieira. Wrexham 2, Gillingham 0 in League 2. Ben Tozer with a second for Wrexham, and Arsenal can't keep the ball in play on this occasion. And there's plenty of Burnley subs warming up. I wonder how many of them Vincent Kompany might be tempted to deploy all at once to try and get his team back level again. Just over 20 minutes to go. It's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Where you've got Oliver on the bench, obviously French under-21 international, who can come on and play in the wide areas. Obafemi as well. But to be fair, from Vincent Kompany's point of view, his Burnley side is still well in this game, Dan. There's still jeopardy in this game, and none of his Burnley players actually deserve to be substituted because they've all put in a shift in performance. So they're keeping Arsenal honest at the moment. The difficulty for Burnley is the further that the game goes on, obviously they've spent a lot of time out of possession and they've done a lot of running, so they've got a few heavy legs out there, so that's why the reason that Vincent Kompany will probably make these substitutions.
2-1 to Arsenal. St Johnstone, bottom of the Scottish Premiership, lead Ross County by a goal to nil. Graham Carey for St Johnstone. And Hearts 2-0 up at Motherwell now. Another for Lawrence Shankland this afternoon for Hearts of Midlothian. There's an Arsenal player down, just shy of the halfway line. Is it Vieira that's down? I think it is, isn't it? It's not long come on, but he's just got a twisted bootlace, I think.
Do you know what? I think it's more serious than that, Dan.
Oh yeah.
He could be up for it. It's a snapped bootlace.
Oh, that's terrible. That's 4 minutes out.
Well, it's lucky that the international break is coming up.
Yeah.
So have a lot of time to obviously get
down the cobblers.
Recuperation.
20 minutes to go.
Well, he's gone to Northampton.
Arsenal 2, Burnley 1. Plenty more live football coming your way. We've got England, Scotland and Wales all in international action tomorrow. And we've also got live NFL. Our American football commentary team have gone out to Frankfurt tomorrow at 2 p.m. here on TalkSport 2. Indianapolis Colts at the New England Patriots as the notional home side of the Patriots, but that's in Frankfurt in Germany, followed at 6 p.m. back in the States by full commentary of the 49ers at the Jaguars. So a double bill of NFL for you on TalkSport 2 tomorrow afternoon. You can join Nat Coombs and the team from 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Whilst over on TalkSport, you've got the Sunday session with Sam Matterface and my colleague here, Perry Groves, taking you around the Grand Sweep goals in the Premier League. And there's a full programme of WSL fixtures tomorrow as well. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Millwall 4. Blimey, Joe Edwards has got some good work in already on the training ground. Brooke Norton-Cuffy, former Coventry loanee, has put Millwall further clear at what must be an incredibly disgruntled Hillsborough.
That's not a new manager bounce, that's a new manager pole vault.
Whereas Birmingham losing 3-1 at Sunderland turned a new manager bounce into a new manager splat. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Millwall 4.
Reinforced concrete.
Yeah. Tranmere 3, 10-man Forest Green Rovers 0 in League 2. Points are safe for Tranmere. Here's Martinelli for Arsenal. We're back underway. 18 minutes to go. Zinchenko, lovely diagonal ball into the box. Punched out, only half punched out by Trafford. Can Saka get the ball back goalwards? No, he's forced away from the penalty area, but Arsenal keep possession. 2-1 up. Zinchenko again. Plays the ball down the left-hand side of the box for the run of Martinelli. Faced up by Vitinho. Goes for the dead ball line. Into the near post and headed out behind by O'Shea for a corner kick to Arsenal yet again at the North Bank end. 2-1 they lead.
Good defending there from Dara O'Shea at his near post. Sometimes you have to mark the space, exactly what he did. Marcelli again trying to go on the outside of Vitinho, this time getting his cross in. And Dara O'Shea doing his job as a centre half. Another corner for Arsenal on their left hand side.
Swindon 2, Stockport 2. Kyle Wooden equalises for Stockport. They've come from behind twice in that game, the League 2 leaders. Here's Trossard's latest corner for Arsenal. Away to our left-hand side, right-footed in swinger, right to the crossbar again! Off the crossbar, off a Burnley head! Zinchenko! On the far Zinchenko, back in the side this afternoon, gets himself a goal and surely seals the points for Arsenal to take them back level at the top with Manchester City. Lovely finish from Oleksandr Zinchenko. It is Arsenal 3, Burnley 1.
Dance, that was a finish full of agility as the ball bounced up to Zinchenko. It was just above waist height, so he had the little scissor kick volley, smashed with his left foot past James Trafford again. It's just really poor marking from Burnley at the corner from Leandro Trossard, in swinging with his right foot. I think it was Saliba that got his head to it first again, come back off the crossbar. Burnley just too static. It's exactly the same corner kick move that Arsenal implemented for Saliba's goal. It's actually come off of Dara O'Shea's head as he's facing his own goal. Paul smashes back off the crossbar. James Trafford actually goes to his right hand side, he's on the floor, and it's a fantastic finish from Zinchenko, as I said there. So it's a scissor kick volley where the ball's just above his hips. Showed fantastic agility to put Arsenal 3-1 off against Burnley.
His first goal for Arsenal since February, Oleksandr Zinchenko. And a 2-goal cushion now belongs to Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. We've got less than 20 minutes to play. In fact, almost a quarter of an hour to play, pretty much. And now Vincent Kompany and Burnley have got to find 2 goals from somewhere. The man that got them their winning goal at Luton a few weeks ago is about to come on, Jakob Larsen, as one of a couple of Burnley changes that are now being planned. Crystal Palace have equalised for a second time at home to Everton, 2-2. And that second goal from Odsonne Edouard, and Stockport are back in front against Swindon. Odin Bailey, former Birmingham and Forest Green midfielder, makes it Swindon 2, Stockport 3.
The last time that Stockport enjoyed back-to-back wins over Swindon was 20 years ago, in 2003. It's the only time they've won back-to-back against Swindon in the Football League.
Good knowledge, and they're heading for 13 straight wins in all competitions, Stockport, which is a quite sensational run after what was a fairly sluggish start to the season for Dave Chandler and the Hatters after they missed out in the playoffs last year. Motherwell get a goal back at home to Hearts in Scotland. Motherwell 1, Hearts 2.
Is that Dave Chandler of the famed long throwing?
It is. You're absolutely right.
To make a career out of that.
Yep. Rory Delap, Andy Legg.
Is it Ben Tozer?
Ben Tozer, who scored today for Wrexham against Gillingham. Ramsey is also coming on. Looks like Koleosho and Amdouni are the players that are going to be taken off by Vincent Kompany as he tries to find a route back into this game for Burnley, who are 3-1 down here. Arsenal heading back joint top of the table as things stand, going above Tottenham, who lost at lunchtime. That will feel good for the red half of North London. Northampton 2, Burton 0. Sam Hoskins with his 9th of the season for the Cobblers to put them further clear at Sixfields. Portsmouth 1, Charlton 1. Alfie May gets another for Charlton Athletic to get them level.
League One Player of the Month, isn't he, Alfie May?
Been playing some super stuff since he moved from Cheltenham in the summer, but Portsmouth are back in front in that game now. 2-1 they lead at Fratton Park. Colby Bishop. The goals in the game at 8-11. Under 4.5 goals at evens. Next goal to Arsenal at 11-10. Next goal to Burnley at 7-1. That's all thanks to William Hill. Get epic value all season with William Hill. 18+. BeGambleAware.org. And a corner to Arsenal. They're 13th of the game. Away to our left-hand side. Swung in by Trossard. Again, Trafford tries to get something on it. Gets it half clear. Jorginho nods it down to Martinelli at the left-hand corner of the penalty area. Back out to the left-hand side on Trossard. Space being closed down by Koleosho. And then he toe-pucks the ball out of play for a throw-in. There's a double change being readied for Arsenal as well. Back to that in a moment. It is Trossard inside the area, making room for a shot, and it deflects up in the air off Charlie Taylor and just lobs through to James Trafford Thought for a moment that was goal bound from Leandro Trossard, but Charlie Taylor had other ideas. 3-1 Arsenal.
Yes, good block from Charlie Taylor. Trossard just in the left-hand corner of the 18-yard box, getting onto his right foot. From our angle down, it looks like he was going to bend it in James Trafford's top left-hand corner. But Charlie Taylor sliding across, getting his block in.
Now Arsenal trying to come forward with Fabio Vieira, but free kick for Burnley. Southampton have retaken the lead at home to West Bromwich Albion. Adam Armstrong, another goal for him this season. Southampton starting the day in 5th, West Brom in 6th, and here comes that double change I mentioned to you for Burnley. So Koleosho and Amdouni make way for Aaron Ramsey, who joined for £14 million from Aston Villa in the summer. Was on loan at Middlesbrough in the Championship last season, and Jakob Brun-Larsen on loan from Hoffenheim in Germany. Scored a couple this season, not just the winner at Luton, but also scored in the EFL Cup. And Saka and Trossard are the players coming off, so that Reece Nelson and Eddie Nketiah will shortly be on the field of play for the home side. Meanwhile, on halfway, Dara O'Shea wins a strong header. Just drops away from Aaron Ramsey, trying to get involved in the first half this afternoon. He seemed to push his opposite number, Fabio Vieira, to the ground there, Ramsey, but nothing doing, says Michael Oliver. Saliba, who scored Arsenal's second with a very firm header not long after Burnley had equalised for 2-1. 10 minutes to go, 3-1 to Arsenal on TalkSport 2. Chesterfield 3-0 up on Barnet in that first versus second clash in the National League. Former Portsmouth man Michael Jacobs, one known to Paul Cook, of course, gets the third for the Spyrites. Here comes that double change, and bukayo Saka. Well, there's been games that you and I have been at, Perry Groves, where bukayo Saka's not been taken off soon enough. But there's an international break coming. I don't know how much he's going to be utilised by Gareth Southgate with the 2 games that England have coming up, starting with Malta on Friday night. He'll go to St George's Park with the squad. Let's see how much he gets used during the course of the next week or so. He goes off, so too does Trossard, and Nketiah and Nelson are coming on.
Well, Leandro Trossard will probably get the man of the match award dance, because obviously he scored the first goal where he smashed into the post. Arsenal got their second and third goal from Trossard corners. Bukayo Saka probably had one of his quieter games, dance, didn't he, on the ball, but top players always make their mark on the game, and he's obviously got the assist for Trossard's goal, because Bukayo Saka was one who headed it back across goal for Trossard to nod it in.
That's the thoughts of Perry Groves on TalkSport 2 this afternoon. Former Colchester United legend. Colchester leads Sutton by a goal to 0. Arthur Reed for the use of the job serve. Must be offside. Must be.
Sutton have lost their last 10 away games in League 2, conceding 34 goals.
That's
now, I'm no Rachel Riley, but that's 3.4 per game.
That's why they're bottom of League 2. Middlesbrough 1, Leicester 0. The leaders of the Championship behind to a very much informed Middlesbrough. Just one defeat in 11. Sam Greenwood for Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough winless in the last 14 games against Leicester. That's it, I'm all started out now. I've actually started to go.
But none of them are inane. You see, we're going to have to get rid of that idea that you just come out with the name stats. It's not true. It's all very, very useful stuff. Now, as a Burnley player, Josh Brownhill gone down, and a straight red card has been issued by Michael Oliver for the challenge on Josh Brownhill by Fabio Vieira. And he's shaking his head, Vieira, but he can't believe that that's been awarded. But Michael Oliver, straight to his top pocket, didn't wait for anything from Stockley Park to lead his decision. He's just brandished a straight red, and Arsenal are down to 10.
Well, as the ball just gets flicked over Fabio Vieira, it's exactly the right decision from Michael Oliver. It's a really, really silly challenge from Fabio Vieira. He goes right over the top of the ball onto Josh Brownhill. From where we are down to, we just thought it was a coming together. When you see it again, it's a straight leg challenge, studs up, gets Josh Brownhill on his knee. Michael Oliver has absolutely no option but to send Fabio Vieira off.
So, ending on a bit of a sour note for Arsenal. They still have a 2-goal cushion, don't forget, so they should have enough to see this game out. Michael Obafemi's about to come on, incidentally, for Burnley. before he's introduced, Fabio Vieira trudges towards the tunnel but gets that traditional round of applause that you get as a player minute sent off for a straight red card.
There's one thing, I don't get the round of applause when your player's just been sent off and he could put you under a bit of trouble, but I think he's had an identity crisis. He thinks he's Patrick Vieira. Because it was a ridiculously shocking challenge. Schwievenberg, the Arsenal coach, just tapped him on the back of the head. Again, I don't get that. Because it's just reckless, it's dangerous. Mikel Oliver had no option whatsoever but to send him off.
He was on the pitch for 25 minutes as a substitute for Arsenal, but he's off. Arsenal down to 10. Burnley have a free kick which they've sent into the Arsenal box, but the Gunners deal with it well. Thumped downfield by Martinelli. Burnley will try and make this man advantage count and try and get a goal and make the last few minutes interesting. Just get the nerves jangling a little bit if they can at Emirates Stadium, but they've not troubled David Raya at all in this second half, let's not forget. Goals elsewhere, Bradford 1, Barrow 2. Down in League 2, Bradford still without a permanent replacement for Mark Hughes. Barrow 7 unbeaten and they lead through George Ray. Dundee 4-0 upon St Mirren now in the Scottish Premiership. And that change is made, and Burnley's goal scorer Josh Brownhill has gone off, and Michael Obafemi, former Swansea man, is on. 2-1, 3-1 rather, to Arsenal. On TalkSport 2 in the closing minutes at Emirates Stadium. Don't forget the game day phone in from 5:30 on TalkSport with Jamie O'Hara and Gabby Agbonlahor. 5 minutes of normal time to go here. Burnley trying to attack down the left-hand side of the box. It's out to play. Jakob Brun-Larsen wins the corner and goes across to that corner where the Burnley fans are. Is going to leave the set piece for Johan Berg Gudmundsson to take. 3-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, it was good play by Jakob Brun-Larsen, trying to go on the outside of Tomiyasu. Corner for Burnley over on their left-hand side.
And it's taken by Gudmundsson into the near post, flicked on by O'Shea, and it lands on the roof of the net, and that'll be a goal kick for Arsenal. Leeds 2, Plymouth 1. Plymouth get a goal back at Ellen Road in the Championship through Ben Waine. Grimsby 3, Morecambe 2. JJ McKiernan gives Morecambe hope at Blundell Park of trying to snatch a point. And here at Emirates Stadium, 4 minutes of normal time remain, plus whatever Mikel Oliver is going to add on for injuries and stoppages. 3-1 to Arsenal, and there'll be another change in a minute. Wilson Odobert is going to be on shortly as another attacking option for Vincent Kompany. Goal kick from Raya onto the halfway line, sails over the head of Tomiyasu. Burnley win it back. Rodriguez with a flick, finds Obafemi, but he runs into Jorginho. But he rode the challenge well enough to give the ball back to the two centre-halves. How much belief do Burnley have in themselves that they can make a man advantage count in these remaining minutes?
Well, to be fair to Vincent Kompany, if he was a poker player, he's gone all in. Burnley now have 5 up front, just strung right along the width of the pitch. And all that Arsenal have done is they've gone 4-4-1, left Nketiah up on his own. Declan Rice has come into that centre midfield area with Jorginho just to try and see this last 3 minutes out, plus obviously added time.
And it's right back Coutinho that's making way for Wilson Odobert to come on. Cardiff 2, Norwich 2. Goodness me, how David Wagner needed that. Ryan Winter with an own goal. And it is Crystal Palace 2, Everton 3. Back in front again, Everton, this time through Idrissa Gana Gueye. And there's an Arsenal player gone down with cramp inside his own half. And Jakub Kiwior, the Polish international, is ready to come on. I can't see who it is who's flat on his back there with cramp. For
Martinelli.
Gabriel Martinelli. So that gives Mikel Arteta a chance to go and talk to his 9 outfield players and coach them through these last few minutes. They're 3-1 up, but they're down to 10 men, Arsenal.
Well, with Fabio Vieira getting sent off for his ridiculous challenge on Josh Brownhill, that's just made this last sort of 5 minutes of normal time and the added on time a little bit difficult for Arsenal. You see Jorginho there, didn't you? Just like shepherding these, you said, the other 7 outfield players over to Mikel Arteta. But I don't think really you need to be a coaching genius to say, look, we're going to have 2 banks of 4. Make sure that your distances are good. Make sure you don't take any unnecessary risks.
And Martinelli is coming off, having just got to his feet from having cramp. So Jakub Kivior's going to come up to him. Oh, big goal at Cardiff. Cardiff 2, Norwich 3. Adam Eder might well have saved David Wagner's bacon. They've been behind in that game, but now